Next, we have Tyler Dana.
Hey, don't walk up there.
Yeah.
Mike, did you see those rosters that were in
I got one, yeah.
Okay, good.
You need one?
No. Those
I got one. Yeah, I got one. Thank you. You got what you need, Mark?
Coming up next is Mitchell Gibbons.
Well, you may want to make a picture of this one because they changed three of the player numbers.
Jeff and Suma Gibbons. Next, we have Jalen Hayward.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed.
Yeah, I know the name of it, but just in case if you look at it.
James Troop and Antonio Thar.
See y'all.
Yeah.
Great seeing you,
You
Alex.
need this?
Yeah, you got an extra.
Yeah, that's extra.
Thank you, because I'm blind. That'll help me a lot. Or I'm not blind, but I'm pretty much. Thank you very much.
But they're also,
Did you get those number changes?
yeah, I was going to say, there's the number changes.
You're reading?
Welcome to Camden Melody, and with Camden is Lee and Amy Melody.
You're reading
But
my
apparently it's for tonight only.
mind. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Senior night, yeah.
It's the son of Michael Jackson, Jonathan Scott, with Joshua and Ann Scott,
This is off.
Jason Staggs, with Dylan Staggs and Sarah Davis, Singer Jonathan Stewart, son of John and Cassandra
It's Zaxby's
Stewart.
fault.
what I do every day for lunch. You're not kidding.
Matthew Slider, son of Michael and Terry Slider.
Did you see that photo?
Gerard Taylor, on the field tonight with Gerard Taylor and Michelle Caldwell.
That was very cool.
Preston Turner,
Too bad we never
son of Jesse Turner and Christy Lowe.
for any of
Just those
And
three.
Kenny West, escorted by Sean and Dan West. Congratulations to this 2020 team, and we wish you continued success. At this time, we'll dismiss our senior football players from the field to join their teammates for their last regular season walk down the staff. Let's give them a hand. Parents, you're welcome to leave the field also.
Basically, I need like this size. And you said you just get like a 2x4 in the garage. And I'm just trying to stack them like this, which would be probably the height that I need. Right now, I'm using one.
We'd like to continue our senior recognition this time, as we have Michael Sperto and John Rutherford, band directors, join the team staff and Coach Mullen to recognize senior members of the OC High School Wild Band.
So, moving the back will allow me to put my keyboard under the block tools and put it through. They used to have encyclopedias under there.
Matt Benson is the son of Scott and David Benson. Jared Brown is the son of Sherman Stevens. Lee Chamberlain is the son of Jeannie and Randall Chamberlain. Chloe Yang is the daughter of John and Tanya Yang.
There's a lot of senior bands.
Sierra Eubanks is the daughter of Chad and Sherry Eubank. Amani Gallagher is the granddaughter of Jackie McClanahan and Herbert Booker. Tyler Janelli is the son of Karen Janelli. Elijah Hoffman is the son of Mike and Mike Hoffman. Blake Hudak is the son of Chris and Debbie Hudak. James Ethan Kemp is the son of Tanisha Abernathy and Sam Kemp. Joshua Lee, son of Tony and Angela Lee. Thomas Moravia, son of Robert and Tina Moravia. Jasmine McMillan, daughter of Casey and Cindy Larrity. Griffin Miller, son of Charles and Michaela Miller. Brady Mitchell, daughter of Scott and Jana Mitchell. Lorelai Norman, daughter of Audrey and Ben Norman. Audrey and Ben Norris and Gwen Calder. Avery Orange, son of Dennis and Sally Orange. Daniel Owens, son of Elise Spain.
Did y'all get word of 3 jersey sales?
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
Just for tonight. Okay.
Yeah, we got them all, Coach. Thank you.
Sure. Son of Nathan and Christina C. Hannah Sellers, daughter of Karen and Jason Powell.
White name and then Tracy.
Emily Tucker, daughter of Daniel and Samantha Tucker. Carter Valencia Van Bora, daughter of Heidi Bora. Cooper Watkins, son of Daryl and Stephanie Watkins. Joel Watson, son of Brad and Jacqueline Watson. Soraya Wright, daughter of Felicia Howard. Let's give these band members a big hand. We thank these seniors that they've worked very hard to provide us with many outstanding halftime and pregame shows that have been very much a part of the tradition of Oak Ridge High School football and have been a part of an extraordinary music program. These seniors are now excused as they take their place to prepare for the national anthem. Parents, you can leave the field also.
Sam's, Neil told you to buy any there ones. But other than that, I don't really know if I've ever bought their ones.
I might buy the fence, so we can get rid of it.
That's a lot of band members.
Now, I do go by there and buy the rolls and the chicken salad.
Okay, yeah.
And almost going to Costco tomorrow to buy a cake for Mom's birthday.
They're doing, for whatever reason, they're doing the yeah, which is okay.
On the field now are members of the 1980 state championship team. This team, led by head coach Emory Hale, beat Germantown 13-0 for the AAA title, their second state title in a row. They had a perfect season, finishing with a 13-0 record, and the last Oak Ridge team to finish undefeated. They would also end up with a national ranking at number 3. Let's give the nice welcome back home to these special Wildcats. At slot back, number 44, Cole Adams. At wide receiver, number 6, Brandon Hayward. At slot, number 3, Jabryce Taylor. At wide receiver, number 2, Jonathan Stewart. At running back, number 1, Kendall Jackson. And at quarterback for the Wildcats, number 14, Mitchell Gibbons. This evening, we welcome the color guard for the Oak Ridge High School Navy Junior ROTC program. It presents the colors. The guard is under the command of Chief Ryan Nichols. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise while the Oak Ridge High School band plays under the field direction of Sierra Eubanks and Amira McCall plays our national anthem.
send me that picture?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Right, there's nobody out here. So we could. And I realized how it was out. Hopefully this will all work, even if you don't have to be running.
What's up, Wildcat Nation? This is T.A. I would like to welcome you to our house, Blankenship Field. Until I visit you, have a good time. Trust us, it's gonna get better. I'll hear you all evening, all night long. Into our community, we need to hear you. Into the ones that came before us, we gotta set the standard for how we play.
And welcome back to Blankenship Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge getting set to take on the Powell Panthers. Wildcats getting set to take on the Powell Panthers in what should be an exciting ball game for the region championship. The Wildcats and the Powell Panthers here as the Wildcats are making their way down the steps. We also have the Powell Panthers in attendance. They have come down the steps as well here on Blankenship Field as we get set for this ball game here. The Wildcats playing for a home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. Want to remind everybody that tomorrow's next week's ball game has been canceled because of COVID. Unfortunately, Fulton had a taste of that as the Wildcats come on to Blankenship Field. Unfortunately, senior night had to be moved tonight. There was a lot of things going on here tonight.
Yeah, David, you're right. We had senior night going on tonight. There's, I believe, a short little mini concert going on at halftime tonight. We're welcoming back Dr. Garfield Adams as principal of Oak Ridge High School at halftime as well. And then, obviously, we are honoring the 1980 state championship team, coached by Emory Hale, and had a lot of great players that you probably knew personally.
I sure did. Went to school with all of them, honestly, James Branson. But while we have a moment, why don't you run down the starting lineups for tonight's game?
Thank you, David. At receiver for the Wildcats, we have Jonathan Stewart, Preston Turner, and Brandon Hayward. Cole Adams will be your slot tonight, and Robert Hill, Nick Dallas will be your left tackle and left guard. Vinny West will be right guard. Kason Staggs will be right tackle. Running back is Kendall Jackson, and your quarterback for the Wildcats is Mitchell Gibbons. On defense, our defensive line is led by Trey Rowe and Jackson Adams at defensive end. Isaiah Boone at defensive tackle. Nose guard is J.K. Morgan. Your linebacking crew is Brian Kelly, Jacob Bourbon, Jaden Elam. And your secondary for the Wildcats is Jonathan Stewart, Preston Turner, Matthew Swigert, and Cole Adams. Punter for the Wildcats, we have two of them, Preston Turner, Jacob Bourbon. Place kicker, could be Tyler Dunham, could be Cam Malcody. Long snapper Kai Hirsch, Hayden Tarwater's your holder. Punt returner Preston Turner, and Bryce Taylor, who's done a great job for the Wildcats starting on kickoff return.
And we're about to have the toss of the coin. The officials are out on the field right now. The Wildcats being represented by Jackson Adams. The Wildcats wearing their all Cardinal jerseys, Cardinal pants, white numerals, the Powell Panthers, and they're all white pants, white jerseys, orange and black numerals. Wildcats secondary, you mentioned it just a moment ago, James Branson. They are going to be tested tonight because Mr. Jordan Potts, the quarterback for the Powell Panthers, he likes to air it out as the toss the coin, and I believe the Wildcats have won the toss, will defer to the second half. But back to the secondary, they are going to be tested tonight.
Yeah, David, and one of the things that's really positive about that is I think our secondary has honestly played fairly well this year in what we like to play. I think the key tonight is going to be the defensive line, honestly, and if we can get pressure on the quarterback and basically get pressure, get some sacks, but maybe make him move his feet and make quick decisions.
Our camera personnel tonight, we have Kaiser Schwartz, we have Tyler Morris. Down on the field we have as well Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, and Jordan Osborne. Brian Bennett is our engineer back at the station. Our statisticians tonight will be Mark and Shauna Haste. Mike Sheehan is with us. The Knoxville media is represented by Alex Myers here tonight. My name is David Clary. His name is James Branson, and we're about to have the kickoff of the final regular season football game here at Blankenship Field this season. We hope to have more playoff ball games, at least one, and that would take a victory tonight over these Powell Panthers, who knocked off Oak Ridge last year 28-27 in a game that the Wildcats controlled for 3 quarters and let it slip away in the fourth.
Yeah, David, if I remember correctly, in that game, it was a late pass down the home sideline of Powell Panthers that set up a go-ahead touchdown late in the game. Oak Ridge really controlled the ball all night long. Defense played great, and you'd love to see the same thing tonight.
And here we go. The Powell Panthers getting set with some players, getting set on the line, and we're about to have kickoff. The Wildcats will be kicking off from right to left as we start here at Blankenship Field. Game number 9 of the 2020 season. The officials are ready. The whistle blows. The student section is making noise. The community is on their feet, and we're about to have football here at Blankenship Field, Jack Armstrong Stadium, Oak Ridge, and the Powell Panthers. Here it is, a deep kick. It's going to go sailing all the way down to the 10-yard line, and they're going to return it and try to get outside, and they're going to drop him right at the 6. Wildcats had Jackson Adams and a host of other Wildcats down there, so a little bit of a surprise there. The Wildcats have not been kicking deep. They did one time last week, and they got a long kickoff return on one of the pop-up kicks, so a little bit of surprise there. Not great field position for the Powell Panthers.
It's really good strategy, actually, David, because all of Powell, they had their front line, and they had everybody slid over to cover that pop-up kick, and they even had the deep guy there, so there was nobody back for Powell, and they basically, Oak Ridge pinned him inside the 10 without even having to make much of a tackle.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 6-yard line of the Panthers. Shotgun for Jordan Potts. Quarterback, 3 receivers. Hands it off to his back, number 7. Tries to get wide, and that's Brown. He's wide. He's down the sideline. He's going to be finally pushed out of bounds way up the field at the 35-yard line. I think one of the things that Coach Gaddis has said quite a bit, they like to throw the ball, but they start with a running play. Really, really nice run. First and 10 for the Powell Panthers all the way up to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, David, it was a really nice run as they motioned Brown into the backfield, and they just slid him back out.
Potts once again, Brown in the backfield. He's going to hand it to him once again. This time he's dragged down from the backside and pushed back by the interior part of the Oak Ridge line, along with, Jackson Adams. He's in the end. The Wildcats also get a little help from their sophomore linebacker, Brian Kelly. It's a gain of a yard on the play. Second down and a long 8.5 yards to go for a first. 10 minutes, 48 seconds to play. The clock is not moving on the scoreboard. They're going to have to check that, I'm sure. 0-0 our score, just underway from Blankenship Field. Potts will pass is caught. And trying to get wide, Wildcats corral him at around the 40-yard line. The clock is not functioning on the far scoreboard, which is always, and you never, you can't really understand why that happens. You wait and you wait as the pass was complete up to the 42-yard line, where it'll be, let's see if they move the chains, as the officials are discussing it, and they're looking at it, and it is very close to a first down, and they will bring the chains onto the field to see if they have indeed have a first down. 0-0 our score. The chains are going to be stretched, very close to a first down. They stretch them, and indeed it is going to be, looks like first down, 10 yards to go for the Powell Panthers.
Yeah, David, as working on the clock issues, it looks like we have 10:14 left in the first half, first quarter, I'm sorry. But it's very interesting here that you see Powell running the ball. Probably, Oak Ridge came out and did something a little bit different strategically, and you see Powell doing the same thing so far tonight.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at, as I look at it, down from the up top, it's going to be right at the 44-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Receivers left and right. They have 3 to the left of the quarterback, 1 lone man to the right. Potts is the quarterback, a new running back in there, and he's going to get the handoff and try to get outside, and he is going to be dropped right at the 45-yard line. Really no gain on the play. That was number 10 on the carry.
That would be Stockton for Powell, as they just ran a little bit of an inside zone there, and I think one of the things that you're doing there by running inside is running into the strength of the Wildcat defense, as our defensive line has played great, especially late in the season, and the linebackers are flowing really well.
Jacob Bervin there on the stop for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. It's a gain of 3. Second down, 7 yards to go. Once again, Potts at quarterback. They're moving right to left here. They fire a pass wide open in the middle part of the field. They're going to move the ball into Wildcat territory, and the Wildcats having trouble getting the guy down. The ball is loose on the ground, and they're going to say it is a fumble recovery by the Oak Ridge Wildcats. He kept fighting and squirming for extra yardage, and sometimes you see that, James Branson. When they fight a little bit too much, they lose control of the ball. He lost control, and the Wildcats have a takeaway, and the Oak Ridge offense will come onto the field.
David, I'm going to credit Coach Miner and his defense there for that too, is because as a coach you teach them, especially defensively, if there's 2 or 3 people wrapping them up, the third or fourth person come in and try to rip that ball out. Keep them up and try to rip that ball out until they blow the whistle or the ball comes out, and that's exactly what Oak Ridge did.
Jabryce Taylor, Jonathan Stewart, receivers split out to the right side. Brandon Hayward to the left. Kendall Jackson is the running back, and Kendall gets the call. Kendall moves the ball forward to around the 43-yard line as the clock is now working again. 9:06 to play. For the Wildcats, it's a gain of 2. Second down, 8 yards to go. Scoreless ball game. We've had 1 turnover in the ball game, and the Wildcats are trying to move the ball at their own 45-yard line, heading away from Jackson Square. The Wildcats have it second down, 8 yards to go. This is our final regular season home ball game here at Blankenship Field. Hopefully we'll have more home games in the playoffs. Wildcats are in the playoffs. We'll talk about that more tonight. Mitchell Gibbons will pass. Across the way, slant is caught. Jabryce Taylor, that's a first down. A Tim Bank of Oak Ridge first down as he rumbles forward to the Powell 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Wildcats. That time Jabryce, wide open, caught the pass. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge.
Yeah, David, on that play, Jabryce just goes down and sits basically in an area, in a zone where there was nobody defending him. The outside linebacker for the Powell didn't slide over. Jabryce just sat down, nice little hitch route, quick little throw, and he's able to get upfield very quickly. One thing to note, I believe we have number 44, a number change, which would be Cole Adams this year.
Ball is at the Powell 40-yard line. Mitchell, first down, 10 yards to go. He's going to hand it off to Jabryce Taylor. Jabryce moves the ball to the 39-yard line. Not a whole lot of yardage there. 8 minutes to play, first quarter. We have no score here at Blankenship Field on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com. One of the things that Coach Gaddis has said, the Wildcats have got to control the ball and not let this high-powered Powell offense be on the field that much.
Yeah, David, when you control the ball and able to run it, you keep that clock going, you eat clock, and you make Powell play defense longer and hopefully tire them out.
Second down, we'll call it 8.5 yards to go for the Wildcats. The ball is at the 39. Here comes Kendall Jackson. Kendall Jackson had a really big hole there, and as soon as he hit it, he goes down right at the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and about 5 yards to go. When he first got the ball, James, I thought he might take it into the end zone.
Yeah, David, it was a nice play there by number 4, which is Faust for them. Just was able to get around the block of Cole Adams there. You would have liked to see Kendall try to follow Cole all the way through, maybe cut back toward the middle. I think he had a little bit more space there.
You know, after the Jaden Elam fumble recovery, the Wildcats have it third down, 5 yards to go, 6 minutes, 57 seconds to play, first quarter, third down, 5 yards to go at the Powell 35-yard line, heading away from Jackson Square wearing their all Cardinal jerseys. The Wildcats will hand it to that's Mitchell wanting to pass, might run, now dumps the pass and throws it away. That time, he tried to, maybe he should have handed it off to Kendall, but he did not. Pulled it away on a play action and just tossed it aside. It'll be fourth down and 5 yards to go.
Yeah, David, on that play, he felt a lot of pressure from the play side, and we're going to get a penalty here. That is going to be intentional grounding because all of the receivers were flowing toward the home sideline, so they're all running toward the home sideline. Mitchell rolled back toward Powell's sideline, and there was no receiver over there, so in that scenario, it's different than college or NFL. You can't just throw it out of bounds. You kind of have to throw it out of bounds in the direction of a receiver.
So they're asking if they want to decline a penalty. They lost it down, I believe, anyway. 6:40 to play here in the first quarter, just underway Blankenship Field. So the Wildcats with a penalty here. Powell still discussing what they want to do, and of course they'll take it, of course, and it's the loss of down. So it'll be fourth down and longer for the Wildcats as they'll step it off the 5-yard penalty up to the 45-yard line, and that forces the Wildcats head coach Joe Gaddis' hand. He'll be forced to punt, and the Wildcats will bring in the punt team.
Yeah, David, and that is a spot foul, meaning wherever the foul occurred, that is where the ball is going to be put down. So it's not a 5 or 10-yard mark-off specifically.
And they'll send a couple guys back at the 10-yard line. Jacob Bervin along with Preston Turner, the punters. Fourth down, 15. It's going to be Preston. He's going to return it. He's moving the ball to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25-yard line. 20. Preston Turner at the 10-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. They had to see it on tape. We've done it all season long. The Wildcats, Preston Turner, first and 10 for the Wildcats after the fake punt, and the Wildcats have it first and 10.
Yeah, David, and again, like you said, they had to see it on tape. Preston is just told to roll out, roll out, roll out, and if nobody comes, which nobody came, none of the gunners or the corners on the opposite side came, so Preston just continued to go, and once you get Preston up to speed, it's hard to slow that guy down as we have the ball at the 11-yard line.
Jonathan Stewart, Jabryce Taylor splitting off to the right side. Kendall Jackson, the lone running back. Here's the pitch to Kendall Jackson. He's got blockers in front, but he cuts back inside to the 10 and gained only about a yard. Kind of surprised. He had a hole off to the right side, decided to cut it back inside and didn't really get much at all. He's going to gain officially a yard. Second down, 9 yards to go for the Wildcats.
Yeah, David, and you'd like to see Kendall get behind that big offensive line, which had such a great week last week, and continue to build on that momentum. You know, Kendall's very athletic, very shifty, and hard to take down. He had a great game last year in this game. You'd love to see him build on that and follow the lineman this game.
Second down, 9 yards to go, 5 minutes, 30 seconds to play, first quarter, scoreless ball game. Mitchell Gibbons, all day to pass. Across the way, floats it. There's Brandon. No, that's Cole Adams. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. You're right. Number 44 takes it in. Credit that offensive line once again, James Branson. Mitchell Gibbons could have put a 10 up and had a picnic. He had so much time. It'll be a touchdown for the Wildcats, and they lead it 6-0.
David, they almost threw your favorite route, the slant across the middle of the field. Jonathan Stewart was covered, and what a great play there by Cole Adams just to drift out on a little wheel route and just run straight up the sideline, sit down, catch it, and get into the end zone. Great job there by Mitchell. Great job by Cole Adams. Number 44, Cole Adams.
6-0 our score. 5:23 to play. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good by Efren Rodriguez. 7-0. Oak Ridge. The Wildcats lead the Powell Panthers. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to our engineer, Brian Bennett, at the station. We'll be back with an Oak Ridge kickoff in 60 seconds.
And music for the Wild Band, as well as supplement other needs of Oak Ridge High School's award-winning band program. Orders may be placed with your favorite band member online at wildband.org or here tonight at the band merchandise table.
I don't know.
Tyler Dunn, the kickoff for the Wildcats. Deep for the Panthers. Carson Whitehead. Correction. Gianni Magdos. Deep for the Panthers.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. 5 minutes, 23 seconds to play. The Wildcats have a 7-0 lead over the Powell Panthers. Trying to play for second place here, Tyler Dunham's pop-up kick this time. A fair catch is going to be signaled for at the 20-yard line, and that is where Powell will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. Appreciate you listening to our broadcast wherever you might be on FM 92.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. 7-0 is our score.
David, really nice strategy there. Powell corrected their mistake on the kickoff as they put another guy, I wasn't sure the number, but they put another guy on the opposite hash, so Oak Ridge couldn't kick it deep and forced number 11, Green, for Powell to field it at the 20.
Potts brings him up. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the Powell 20. Handoff goes to the running back, and he is fumbling the ball. It's loose on the ground. Oak Ridge has it to the 5, rumbling to the 3. Another fumble by your Powell Panthers. And the Wildcats rumble forward. I believe it was Isaiah Boone who recovers it, and the Wildcats have it first and goal at the 1-yard line.
Really nice job there by the defensive line, again, setting the tone early. Playing that outside contain, making a nice hit on number 7, Brown. Brown coughs it up again, and boom, Johnny on the spot right there, able to rumble down to the 1 yard. Really would have loved to see him get in on senior night. That would have been a really cool play for him, David.
Here comes the Oak Ridge offense onto the field once again. 7-0 Oak Ridge leads. 5:09 to play here in the first quarter. The Wildcats come to the line. They have a slot man to the left side. I believe that's Osborne. The Wildcats have Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Handoff. Kendall Jackson. He drives. He lunges for the goal line. No signal. It's a delayed signal. It's a delayed signal. Not a touchdown. It'll be second down. Goal to go for the Wildcats. Clock is stopped with 5:01 to play for whatever reason. The clock keeper has struggled all night.
Yeah, David, I think they were trying to figure out if that was a fumble or not, whether the ball came out, and they ruled Kendall down and the officials blew the whistle. So I'm wondering if that's why they saw somebody take off sprinting and they may have stopped the clock to blow the whistle dead. Either way, 2 possessions defensively for the Wildcats, 2 turnovers, and hopefully you cash in on another one to put the score up by 2 scores here.
Wildcats come to the line. Second down, goal to go for the Wildcats. Slot man to the right. Mitchell Gibbons, senior quarterback. Low snap. He picks it up, bounces off a tackle, dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Kendall Jackson on second effort gives Oak Ridge the lead of 13-0 with 4 minutes and 26 seconds to play here in this first quarter. 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns, and the Wildcats will go for the extra point.
Yeah, David, that would be Acuff, not able to make the tackle. Made a nice hit on Kendall, but again, you got to wrap Kendall up. You got to take him down by his legs, and they didn't, and he just bounced right off of it and was able to lunge into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown. Kind of reminiscent for me of the Saudi Daisy game last year, or even the Mount Juliet game, where he just kept fighting.
Hayden Tarwater will be the holder. Kai Hirsch, number 28, will be the long snapper. Efren Rodriguez will attempt his second extra point of the ball game. 13-0. Rodriguez will drill it through. It's on its way. It's up, and it's up, and it's good. 14-0. Oak Ridge over the Powell Panthers. 4 minutes, 26 seconds to play in the first quarter, and we'll be back with yet another Wildcat kickoff in 60 seconds.
We would like to thank the Farrell Shop for their continued support of Oak Ridge High School athletics. The Farrell Shop is located a locally owned business which features fine home accessories and unique gifts. Located just across the street in historic Jackson Square, you can purchase general admission tickets for home game each week, Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go visit the Farrell Shop.
Yeah. I couldn't tell because yeah, that's why I heard it. That's good. Tell me
Tyler Devin to kick off for the Wildcats. Deep for the Panthers, number 22, Gianni Matos.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. David Clary, James Branson. Great start for the Wildcats. 14-0 lately. The Powell Panthers. They had a big lead last year against Powell. Wildcats kicking off yet another time. This is a high pop-up kick. It's going to be fielded at the 20. 25. Trying to get outside, going nowhere, but to the turf at Blankenship Field at the 27-yard line. Tackled made by Jackson Adams, Brian Kelly, along with one other Wildcat. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge wearing their all Cardinal jerseys. Is Jaden Elam wearing number 32 today? Looks like a number change out there for him. Just by his body build, that looks like Jaden Elam. First down, 10 yards to go. Powell, the ball at the 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 lone man to the left. They've got a bevy of great sophomore receivers. They're going to throw to one of them. Boom! There's a big hit, and the Wildcats pile drive him into the turf. The Wildcats, Preston Turner, hit him hard, drove him down harder, and it'll be a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, David, that was Faust on the reception for Powell there as he just had nowhere to go. Preston put his foot in the ground really quickly, took a nice T-step and sprinted up, made a nice hit there and kept driving his feet. That's what you love to see on that play. He kept driving his feet and pushed him backwards.
Gain of 2 on the play, second down, 8 yards to go. The ball is at the 29-yard line. Potts at quarterback. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to the left, 1 lone running back. Potts to pass. Fires it, pass deflected. Preston Turner got a hand on it, knocks it away. It'll be third down, 8 yards to go.
Really nice job there by Preston Turner. He had the underneath coverage, and what was really nice is Cole Adams, number 44 Cole Adams, I'm assuming he's honoring his brother tonight, came over the top from his safety position. There was no way that ball was going to be completed on that basically bracketed coverage.
Powell comes to the line going quickly here. 3:46 to play first quarter. 14-0 Oak Ridge. A couple of turnovers, a couple of touchdowns after them. Wildcats in the lead. Third down, 8 yards to go for Potts. From the 25, lots of pressure, in a lot of trouble, rolling, looking, tries to run, tries to pass, fires it long, passes there, pass is going to be caught, I believe. All the way down at the 25-yard line. An exceptional play by their quarterback. Nice catch on the other end, but it was the quarterback keeping the play alive, which got the ball, just kind of lobbed a high looping pass, and he brought it down all the way down the field, all the way to the Oak Ridge 30-yard line, where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Here come the Panthers. Hand off to the running back, and he tries to slither forward. He goes down in a sea of red. 3:19 to play, second down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, David, as Stockton on that run was tackled really quickly by the Oak Ridge defensive line, probably why the Powell ran that play right there. Your receivers are tired after basically running almost a 70-yard route. Quarterback needed a little bit of a break there after he scrambled out. So nice little short play there as he gets 2 yards on the play.
2:59 and counting, 14-0, and the Wildcats in the lead. It was a gain of 2. Ball is at the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 8. He's going to fire a pass again. Boom! Another big hit. The Wildcats got to wrap up, though. They made a good contact, but he kept going after the initial contact. And that's something, I think it's a Sports Center thing. They see the big hits. They hear me say, boom, big stick. And they don't wrap them up. And that's something they needed to do right there. It's a gain of 7. 3rd down and a yard to go.
Yeah, David, you'd like to see them continue to wrap up. But what was positive and what limited the gain of that play was the flow by the outside linebackers of Bourbon.
Movement across by the Oak Ridge lineman. That's going to give Powell a 1st down, unless they were drawn off sides, and I believe they were drawn off sides by the Cadence, so it's going to be a 1st down for the Powell Panthers. 2:44 to play. One of my keys to the ball game, we talked about, having to get some pass rush, having to control the game, get some takeaways. Also, the Wildcats were victimized so much by their own faults last week with the penalties.
Yeah, David, and that's one of the things that Coach Gass talked about in his frustration with, too. He corrected that.
And off to number 10 again, and he's not going very far. He's met again right at the middle part of the line. Oak Ridge is doing a good job against the run, that's for sure. Looks like Boone was there for the stop. It'll be for the Powell. The ball at the 15-yard line, gain of only 1. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The Wildcats have a 14-0 lead here with 2:08 to play in the first quarter. In front of a huge crowd here at Blankenship Field, biggest crowd of the season for sure. Panther ball. Officially, 2nd down, 9.5 yards to go. Potts drops to pass. Fires it, end zone, pass there, almost intercepted, almost picked off by the Wildcats. Nice play by Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, really good job there by Jonathan Stewart to come from his safety position. Basically was standing near the goal line, able to undercut that and nearly pick it off. I'm not really sure why Powell isn't going with number 7 Brown, running him on some flies or outside runs, because Oak Ridge is stopping the run up the middle. The best play that they've had was the outside run with Brown.
3rd down, 9.5 yards to go. Ball is at the Oak Ridge 15-yard line. Potts, no running backs. Pressured. Pass complete. Moving the ball up the field into the end zone. That is a touchdown. Great little play by the Powell Panthers, and they are on the board with 1:46 to play. 14-6 our score.
Yeah, David, that was Faust that just caught the pass there from Potts, and on a little tunnel screen, basically, the Powell motioned out number 10, Stockton, I believe that is, and then brought Faust underneath on a little tunnel screen and was able to come basically unblocked and run into the end zone.
And the Panthers will go for the extra point here. 14-6 our score. 1:46 to play in the first quarter. Lots of action here in this opening period from Blankenship Field. Here's the hold, the snap, the kick. It's on its way, it's up, and it's good. 14-7. The Wildcat lead is cut in half. 1:46 to play first quarter. We'll be back with the Powell kickoff in 60 seconds.
Yeah, that was good. I thought our safety, I guess that was Cole. I thought he was going to be able to undercut it. He stayed with him.
Every October,
but the other guy just had position.
Is celebrated across the country to bring awareness to substance misuse prevention. Visit ASAPofAndersonCounty.org for more information and resources for parents, teens, and community members.
You gotta help me with that.
To celebrate Red Ribbon Week, our players tonight are wearing red ribbon decals on their helmets and demonstrating this year's theme by saying, "I am one who is happy, great, and drug-free."
Like better, best.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like we're in a lake at night.
That's crazy. Maybe that's cool.
Bell Bears to kick off for the Panthers. Big for the Wildcats.
David Clary, James Branson back here along with Brian Bennett and a host of camera personnel and statisticians, and of course Big Mike Sheehan, the wild man, with us. Here's the kickoff by Powell. It's a line drive squib. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats' Matthew Swigert at the 35. Matthew is tackled at that point, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. So Matthew Swigert, I hope you enjoyed watching him and listening to him on our Coach's Corner show this coming Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Mitchell Gibbons will be our special guest. We'll hope you'll tune in, Channel 12, 7 o'clock. Wildcat offense on the field. They've had short fields to drive. It took a fourth down conversion and a fake punt to keep the first scoring drive alive. Let's see what Mitchell and company can do.
Yeah, David, anything you got to do to get a better playoff position here and improve your position and get another home game is key. And you know the Wildcats are fighting for that tonight, and so are the seniors.
Receivers left and right. Jalen Hayward getting a chance to play tonight. Here's a quick pass. That's the slant, and it's caught. The Wildcats move the ball up to the 45-yard line. The catch is made by Jabryce Taylor, one of those seniors who was recognized before the ball game. About 19 seniors, I believe, were on the field along with their parents or guardians. That is a gain of 9 on the play. 1:24 to play. We're in the first quarter. They're going to say it's a gain of 10, so they are going to move the chains. So a gain of 10 on the play. I mentioned Jalen Hayward is in the ball game as a receiver. We haven't seen him in 3 or 4 weeks. Went down with an injury. He's out there. Great to see the senior out there on senior night. The Wildcats have Jabryce Taylor, Jonathan Stewart split out to the right side. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at their own 45-yard line, under a minute to play. Low snap, quick pass, caught. Jalen Hayward moves the ball up the Oak Ridge sideline, pushed out of bounds at around the 39-yard line. Another fine gain, another crisp pass, and another first down for the Wildcats. A 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Yeah, David, one of the things that kind of baffles me a little bit is a lot of teams are playing off of our receivers, meaning they're about 4 or 5, 6 yards back even, and it's just a little easy short completion on a hitch route from Mitchell to Jalen, and you know that happened at Farragut, it happened tonight, it happened all last week, so if that's what they're going to give us defensively, Oak Ridge is going to take that all night long.
44 seconds and counting. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is now in Powell territory. Ball at the 39-yard line, first and 10. Mitchell, a little screen pass is caught, and dropped. It's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Jabryce Taylor. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats, wearing their all Cardinal. Back in your day, when Coach Lucier was here, it was kind of a no-no to wear the all Cardinals.
Yeah, David, we didn't have very good luck on those games. I remember one of the biggest plays, William Blunt, we wore all Cardinal, I think my junior year. James Mitchell made a huge stop in that game to seal the deal on fourth down.
Listening to us along with his crew, along with Chip Hughley, the former 91 Wildcat, and baseball guys as well, listening to us tonight. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 39-yard line. Handoff Kendall Jackson. Jackson moves the ball all the way down to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, rumbling all the way down the field for another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. Another great hole by the Oak Ridge left side of the offensive line, and the Wildcats have it first and 10.
Really great run there by Kendall, and again, once he gets going downhill, he is almost unstoppable. Very similar run to what kind of similar to Spencer Goldmeyer against Farragut, as Magdos, number 22 for Powell, just kind of went down, and Kendall just charged right over him and got down into the 18-yard line for a nice first down.
14-7 Wildcats, 25 seconds to play first quarter. The Wildcats have it first and 10. The ball is at the 18-yard line of the Panthers. Wildcats with a slot man, but the handoff goes to Kendall. Kendall straight ahead running, moves the ball forward to around the 12-yard line. Another fine gain. I'm telling you, that offensive line is really playing well.
Yeah, David, really playing well, and they really built up momentum throughout that all season long, as it looks like we have a Panther down and injured for this timeout.
This injury timeout is brought to you by the Oak Ridge Pharmacy, located across from Staples in Oak Ridge. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Blankenship Field with 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Who sent you that? My mom did. Oh, we did. So, getting back to bed. 32? Is that 32? Is it? I'm more worried about getting back to break, though. I would would not try to hurry.
Yeah, I just.
Buddy, Wildcat! 15 seconds. I hope he doesn't take a shot.
David Clary, James Branson back here at Blankenship Field after the injury timeout. The young man from Powell appears to be okay, came off on his own power. The Wildcats, and as Coach Gaddis told me, ball control is going to be key in this ball game. Keep the Panther offense off the field as much as possible. The Wildcats had 10 seconds left on the clock. As soon as the injured Powell player came off the field, the Wildcats let that 10 seconds expire, so we have moved into the second quarter. And what an exciting first quarter of football we had, James Branson. 3 touchdowns, a couple turnovers. The Wildcats and Panthers, 2 very good teams playing for home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, David, really nice start if you're the Wildcat fan, because Powell's only had 3 possessions on offense. 2 of those possessions have been turnovers, as you mentioned, both fumbles. So that's why Powell's had so many possessions. It's not like they've driven the field. They've only done that one time. Oak Ridge has taken advantage of those mistakes, which is very key for Oak Ridge tonight.
Coming into this ball game, Mitchell Gibbons had 3,496 yards, which is good enough for 3rd place on the all-time list. Tonight, he needs 201 yards to tie Johnny Stewart, who played from 2015 to 2017 for 2nd place on the all-time passing yardage list. Coming into tonight's game, still a good ways behind Bradley Zolliger, who played from 2009 to 2011. He needs 814, but he also needs a touchdown pass in this ball game to be number 1, and he did it tonight.
Yeah, he did it tonight on the wheel route to Cole Adams, so he is now number 1 all by himself, which is pretty impressive for Mitchell.
Wildcat offense on the field, 2nd down, 2 yards to go. The ball resting inside the 10-yard line. The Wildcats, Kendall Jackson stumbles forward to around the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Actually, let's see exactly where they spot the ball. The Wildcats will have it 3rd down and looks like 2. Officially, the ball is going to be at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, David, just a little run up the middle there for Kendall Jackson trying to get the first down. Unfortunately, didn't. Tackled there by Souls and Faust for Powell.
Official timeout. They are going to bring the chains on. From my vantage point, it looks like a first down, but we'll wait for the guys in the zebra suits to stretch the chains, and they're going to say what? It is going to be close. It is not going to be as close as we thought. 1st and goal, Wildcats, as Kendall Jackson picked up the needed yardage for the first down, and the Wildcats have it 1st and goal.
Yeah, key down there as a 1st and goal, as you mentioned, for the Wildcats. So get a first down, get a little bit closer to the end zone. You'd love to see them cash it in here. Don't need to press. Take your time, run your offense as you normally would.
Beautiful night here at Blankenship Field. The moon is a half moon here. Very pleasant temperatures, around 70 degrees at kickoff time. The Wildcats 1st down, goal to go. Ball's at the Powell 8-yard line, 14-7. The Wildcats in the lead. Mitchell Gibbons fires the pass. It's going to be caught at the 3, at the 2, up to the 1-yard line, and into the end zone for the touchdown for the Wildcats. Mitchell Gibbons connects with Jabryce Taylor, and the Wildcats have another 6 points on the board, and they lead the Powell Panthers 20-7 with 11:14 to play in the first half.
Really nice job there by Mitchell, just getting it out quickly to Jabryce, who was in the flats right next to the line of scrimmage toward the home sideline. Jabryce using his athleticism, rumbling down into the end zone, running over a guy right at the 1-yard line to get in.
Efren Rodriguez about to attempt the extra point. Hayden Tarwater to hold. Here's the kick. It's on its way. It's up. And it is good. 21-7. Oak Ridge on top of the Powell Panthers. 11:14 to play in the first half. Here we go again. Another kickoff about to come your way here on FM 92.7. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Tomorrow morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Tickets will be available at the event. Plan on joining them tomorrow evening for the Alumni Lady Wildcat game at 6:30 in the Wildcat Arena. Admission is $5. There will be a halftime performance by Cameo Prime. Tyler Dunham to kick off for the Wildcats. The deep for Powell. Number 22, Gianni Magnus.
Tyler Dunham to kick off yet another time for the Wildcats here in an offensive game so far. Fun to watch. 21-7 Oak Ridge in the lead. Tyler's going to hit it deep this time. End over end kick. Dropping the ball carrier back at the 10 to the 5. Down the sideline, the Powell Panthers. Jonathan Stewart grabs him, I believe, and Jalen Hayward actually is the man who makes the stop. And he returns it, but not all the way to the 20-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go at the 19. What a game, James. Lots of scoring, lots of action.
Yeah, David, and really good strategy that's being used here by the Wildcats. As you know, they haven't really shown that they want to kick it deep all season, but credit Tyler Dunham there. He hangs it up really high, and he still gets it down inside the 10-yard line and limits the return by Powell.
Special teams are just alternating, kind of making the Powell Panthers guess a little bit. First down, 10 yards to go for Potts and the Panthers. The ball's resting at the Panther 19-yard line, moving away from Jackson Square. Potts to pass. Rolling to his right. Fires it across the way to a wide-open man in the middle of the field. He moves the ball for a first down up to the 30-yard line. Nice catch out there. The stop is made by Cole Adams and two other Wildcats, and it'll be first and 10 for the Panthers.
Yeah, David, nice stop there for the Wildcats. Unfortunately, Powell was up or close to a first down. That was Collins on the completion there that caught that reception. That was the receiver that gave up the fumble earlier.
Four receivers split to the right. The ball's at the 32-yard line. Potts to pass again. Cross pass is going to boom! A nice tackle right at the legs of the receiver at the 35-yard line. Preston Turner with the stop, and he has knocked that receiver down, and we have another injury timeout here at Blankenship Field. This injury timeout is brought to you by the Oak Ridge Pharmacy once again. We're going to send it back to Brian Bennett. Hopefully this young man is okay. We'll be back to Blankenship Field. The Wildcats on top 21-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. David Clary, James Branson. As Jones comes off the field, he's okay. Kind of hobbled just a bit, being assisted by his trainers. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. Second down 8. Nice form tackle right at the legs by Preston Turner.
Yeah, David is a nice tackle there. He just hit, I believe that is Jones for Powell. And, you know, maybe they'll say it's a low tackle, maybe they'll say it's a dirty tackle, but you know what? Any way you can get him on the ground, that's what you got to do. And Preston did his job there and limited a long play just by being able to make that tackle right there.
Ball is officially at the 36-yard line. We'll call it second down 7. 2:17 to play, 10:17 to play in the first half. 21-7 Oak Ridge in the lead. Potts with a lone running back. Receivers all over the place. He's going to drop to pass. Not pressured. Goes across the way. Another wide open man. He makes the catch at the 40. Down the sideline. Going to be pushed out of bounds finally by the Wildcats right at the 20-yard line. Beautiful pattern once again, and that young man just finds a way to get open, and it is going to be first and 10 Powell.
Yeah, David, you mentioned Collins there able to run. He just ran a little post route right behind the outside linebackers and right in front of the safeties and picked up a long gain as Powell has the ball at the 21-yard line.
9 minutes, 48 seconds to play first half. The Wildcat lead is 21-7. Potts back to pass. Quick pass. Pass is caught at the 10-yard line, and that'll be Faust on the reception. Yeah, they kind of abandoned the running game. The running game caused them a couple turnovers, and they've gone to their strength, and that is Faust throwing to a bevy of really fine receivers.
Really good receivers, and what's impressive about it is how quick their timing is. They must work on timing a lot because the routes are really crisp and really fast.
First down and goal to go. The ball's at the 10. The Wildcats showing blitz. There's a fumble, and they dive on it. The Wildcats, and then a flag comes down.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a bang-bang play there, David, as the ball was on the ground. Potts went down to get it. Jacob Irvin, being aggressive Jacob Irvin, which he is, and you like that about Jacob, was trying to come in and either make a hit or get on the football. And I don't know. I guess you got to protect the player and protect the quarterback there, but it seems like you're kind of punishing somebody for being aggressive.
The referee, the guy in the white hat, he's the one who threw it. They went down, tried to get the ball, which was down on the ground. He was trying to go for a fumble recovery, and he did make contact. And the referee, that's just a bad call. Very, very iffy by the official. It'll be the ball walked up to the 6-yard line, half the distance to the goal, and it'll be first down, a goal to go. Ball is at the 6-yard line. Here come the Panthers wearing their all-white jerseys. They are moving from right to left here, away from Jackson Square. 9:03 to play here in the first half, 21-7, but the Panthers are knocking on the door, and here comes the white hat once again. Did you make a mistake, sir? Is that what you're discussing with your fellow officials? I don't believe so. I think they're set here. 8 minutes, 58 seconds to play. The ball is right at the 6-yard line, 21-7, our score. One lone running back, a tighter formation this time. Up to the line they'll come. Quarterback to pass. Pressured. Batted down. Almost intercepted by Oak Ridge. It looked like Morgan might have gotten his hand on it. One Wildcat did. Batted it down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Goal to go for Powell at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, David, really nice job pressuring by the defensive line there. Everything looked like it was covered pretty well in the secondary and the linebacker core. I think you and I talked about this earlier today and how important it is to get your hands up. I think we mentioned Alex Alcorn, and he did such a great job of that so many years ago.
What a nice crowd on hand here. Our biggest crowd of the year, I believe, here for this big ball game for home field advantage. Potts hands it to the running back in the backfield. Hit once, hit twice, tries to get outside, tries to get to the corner, and then once again, there's going to be a flag down. It's going to be a block in the back, I believe, as the Wildcats went in to make the tackle, and one of those Panthers hit him dirty, hit him in the back, and it'll be a step off, if the white shirt saw it that way, against the Panthers.
Yeah, David, what it should be is it should be a crackback block. You can't do that anymore. Basically, when one person, the running back in this case, which was number 10, name eludes me for a minute, for Powell, he was running into the end zone, and one of the linemen from Powell blocked backwards. The rule says he blocks, if you block backward toward the other end zone, that is an illegal block, and that's what's going to be called. And unfortunately for Powell, but fortunately for the Wildcats, is that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty.
Jarvis Stockton, I think, is the guy you were trying to remember. Jarvis, for them, is a 5'8", 100, looks like 80-pound junior. It's a big one as they're going to put the ball back at the 25-yard line, where it'll be second down, a goal to go for the Panthers. The Wildcats in the lead, 21-7, 8 minutes, 37 seconds to play. And back onto the field, they'll get away from the tight formation. They'll split out 3 receivers to the right of the quarterback, 2 to the left. Nobody in the backfield but the quarterback, Potts. Second down, goal to go at the 25-yard line. The Wildcats showing blitz. Here they come against Potts. He's running. He fires a pass in the middle of the field. He's caught at the 10. And they move it all the way back down to the 5-yard line. So they get about 20 yards on that one. The quarterback, and Coach Gaddis said this in the pregame show, said the same thing to me during the course of the week. The quarterback does a really good job eluding rush. He keeps his team alive by moving around in the pocket, and he did right there, found a wide open man. You can only cover for so long.
Situational awareness, too, is because he was running toward the line of scrimmage and wasn't over it, but he was very close to it.
Third down, goal to go. The ball is at the 4-yard line. Potts once again, receivers left and right. He has a running back with him this time. From the 4, high snap, fires a pass, end zone, dropped dropped by the receiver in the end zone. Cole Adams defending for the Wildcats. It's 4th down, goal to go. Matt Lowe, what do? Do you go for the kick here, or do you go for it? And they're going to talk about it. Matt Lowe, former Powell Panther himself, in his second stint as the head coach of the Powell Panthers. They're not bringing a kicker in. Not yet. Here comes another big dude off the bench here. They've got a lot of those. It's a young team. I thought after last year's team, that they were going to graduate, a great team, and they would be rebuilding. They've reloaded. This is a good Powell team. It's 4th down, goal to go at the 4-yard line. 7:53 to play. They're going for it. Potts, receivers left and right. 3 to the right. Potts, let's see if he tries to run it in himself. Wildcats have got to stay with their man. Here comes pressure, lots of it. Here's the pass at the 4, at the 3. He's out of bounds, and the Wildcats will take over. Oak Ridge stops them. Jacob Bervin, Swigert, Preston Turner. They don't score. The Wildcats take over at the 1.5-yard line. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge.
David, credit Powell with a nice play design, but credit Oak Ridge for paying attention. I don't know if you noticed, but on that play, Potts there turned and talked to number 3, Jones, who was in at running back. And he told him, basically, I think he told him what to do. So all of the receivers went on an inside route, let's say a slant. And Jones just floated out to the sideline. Jacob Bervin was paying attention. He read that play, flowed out, and slowed him up long enough to Matthew Swigert to make a nice hit right at the line.
Timeout is asked for by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top, 21-7. Before the ball game, the seniors and their parents and guardians were recognized before the ball game. The 1980 state championship Wildcats were introduced as well, the cheerleaders as well. You got a chance to talk to one of my all-time Hale, the former head coach of the Wildcats, 3 state championships, 75, 79, 80. What did Coach Hale have to say? I know he's getting up there in age, but I bet he still has that same old fire.
Yeah, David, it kind of made me fired up just standing there and talking to him. And I think I told you I wish I could have played for him because he has so much energy. He may be 80, but he did not act or talk like he was. And he still has that fire in him. It was so amazing just to talk to him and listen to him talk about all the different places he coached and how he talked about coming to Blankenship Field and how it's still special and how the environment here is different from a lot of other places, especially in high school.
Yeah, it was a hard beginning for Coach Hale. When he got here, he had to take over for Jack Armstrong, whose name is on the stadium wall here, and the stadium is named for him. That's, it's like replacing a legend. They struggled the first 2 years, but once they got rolling in the early 70s, they rolled on to 3 state championships. Wildcat offense is on the field once again. They're going to be operating with their offense in the end zone, away from Jackson Square. Wildcats full house backfield. They've got the power formation. Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. And before that, let's see if the formation was good. Was there movement? And we'll check the flag.
No, David, it looked like pretty good to me what the Wildcats have in. You said full back, as it looks like there was encroachment by the Powell Panthers as they're stepped off a 5-yard penalty. The formation, you got Jackson Adams in at tight end. Basically, it looks like a blocking tight end. He's on the same side as Nick Dallas. You also have Cole Adams and I believe Darren Osborne in the backfield.
Matt Lowe is fuming on the Powell sideline. 5-yard step off against Powell. That helps. First down, 5 yards to go. The Wildcats still with Kendall Jackson straight ahead running. Powers across the 10-yard line, right at the 10-yard line, maybe a little shy. It's a gain of about 3. It'll be for Oak Ridge. Second down, it looks like 2 yards to go. 7.5 minutes to play first half in what has been an exciting first half of football. Big region ball game for second place in the region. West has already sewn up the region. The Wildcats and Panthers playing for second place in a home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. Full house backfield once again for the Wildcats. Second down and 2. Kendall Jackson lowers his shoulder, powers his way forward for what appears to be a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. He moved the ball to the 12-yard line. That is where he needed to go. Where is the spot? They're going to put it down right at the 12. It looks from my vantage point that it's a first down. They are indeed going to signal first and 10 Wildcats. So move the chains down the field. So the Wildcats, a little help from the penalty. And the Wildcats, using this power formation, would love to just work time off the clock.
Yeah, David, and you might call it conservative play calling, but you got to get out of your own area. You can't be backed up against your end zone. As the Wildcats bring in 3 receivers, they brought in Jalen Hayward, Jabryce Taylor, and I believe Matthew Swigert on the other side. So a little bit more of a regular formation for the Wildcats.
6 minutes, 42 seconds to play. Second quarter, first down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the Oak Ridge 12-yard line. Senior quarterback Mitchell Gibbons. Shotgun. Time to pass. Fires it. Jalen Hayward makes the catch at around the 16-yard line. Short gain of about 3. Clock continues to move. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to play. In last week's game against Mount Juliet, they're going to officially give him 5. A lot more yardage than I thought. The Wildcats in that final drive just marched it down the field, kept it on the ground, stayed in bounds, and ate the clock up, and Mount Juliet couldn't get the ball back.
Yeah, David, now there was one pretty impressive play by Kendall Jackson as he hurdled a defender, and you heard Coach Gass talk about he didn't like seeing that, but that was a very athletic play.
Second down, 5 yards to go for the Wildcats. The Wildcats with a slot. Cole Adams on the left. Kendall gets the handoff. Kendall moves the ball forward to the 20-yard line. It'll be shy of a first down by about 2. Initially, he was hit, and then he realized, wow, there's nobody around me. He was able to fall forward, and they're about a yard short. Faust on the stop for the Panthers. Third down, less than 2 yards for a first. The ball is at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Kendall Jackson took the handoff there to Mitchell's left, and the Powell Panthers did a great job of getting penetration on that side. So Kendall just bounced it to the right, followed his lineman, and was able to pick up 3 or 4 yards there to get it in third and short. Probably going to run another run play here.
Down to 5:15 and counting. The Wildcats, big play in the ballgame, I think. They want to hold on to the ball here, not give Powell a chance, and the Wildcats have it second. It'll be Mitchell to throw. Deep, man open. Jabryce Taylor, but he overthrows him. I don't know. If he connects with it, that could be a touchdown. But the Wildcats needed 2 yards for a first and extend the drive. Now you're going to give the ball back to the Powell Panthers. He was open. Mitchell just overthrew him. You know, sometimes you have to gamble. I think right there, probably maybe the conservative route might have been the way to go. But that's why I'm up here and they're down there.
Yeah, David, as Jabryce just went on a little bit of a go route on the home side of the field there. Not able to pick it up, but hopefully we can get a good punt here out of our punters.
I would doubt they're going to fake it here as the snap goes to Preston. He thought about it. He punts it high, spiral and kick. It's a great one. Over the back of the return man, the Wildcats will watch it go down at around the 34-yard line. One of Preston's best punts of the year as a spiral. It turned over a little bit, didn't go high. I think the return man was surprised that it went as far back as it did. 4:51 to play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Powell Panthers.
Yeah, David, as Preston was able to boot it over the head of number 22, which is Magdas, just went right over his head. And Preston delayed. Made sure that the rush was coming, because if there was 2 yards there, Preston, I think he was going to take it. But nice punt.
Beautiful night here at Blankenship Field right now. 4:51 to play, 21-7. We're in the second quarter here. The Panther offense is on the field once again. 21-7 Wildcats. Ball is at the 34-yard line of Powell. Potts to pass all day. Fires a pass, caught. Wildcats, Jonathan Stewart's going to try to make the stop. Boy, he initiated the contact on Jonathan and sent Jonathan sliding into the sidelines after he got across midfield. That's a punishing blow put down by their receiver.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Collins as he is continuing to make up for his first mistake in fumbling. A little bit of a play where he ran an out route and basically everything was cleared out as everybody else ran posts or slants.
4:30 to play here. 1st and 10. The ball at midfield. Running back tries to hurdle forward, and he goes up, but he comes down. And he gained about, 3 yards on the play. Jackson Adams there on the stop. It's a gain of 5. 4:17 and counting. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 44-yard line. 21-7 Oak Ridge in the lead. Second down, 5 yards to go. Once again, 3 receivers split to the right. The Wildcats in the lead here. Powell 2nd and 5. Wildcats have hardly gotten to the quarterback at all in this one in the early going. They're showing blitz again. Elam. Here's the pass. Intercepted Oak Ridge. Preston Turner 50 down the right sideline. He's going to take it all the way in. That's a touchdown. Potts turns it over. Pick 6, baby. Preston Turner returns it about 60 yards. I see some flags on the field. No, I don't. Preston Turner takes it into the end zone. The Wildcats are walking back. He might have stepped out of bounds. What's the call? We have to see what happened. 3:45 to play. Preston Turner appeared to have a pick 6. What are the officials talking about? They're going to walk backwards. And I believe we might have a block in the back. And if that's the case, the Wildcats will get the ball. I didn't see the initial signal. He signaled something. They're going to say, as they put the ball down someplace, an official comes over to the home side. It is Oak Ridge. Once again, blocking the back. So it's not a pick 6, but guess what? Oak Ridge has the ball. A 3rd turnover of the first half for the Powell Panthers. And with 3:45 to play, 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. The ball at the 49-yard line of Powell.
Really nice job there by Preston as he was able to basically just step right in the middle of that throw and pick it off. It was almost like Potts was throwing it to him, but what caused that was the pressure by Jaden Elam. He came off the edge from his outside linebacker position, unblocked, put pressure on Potts and caused a quick throw.
Mitchell Gibbons, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Low snap, has to fall on it. And the Panthers come jumping on top of the Oak Ridge sarcastic crowd saying, you called it on our guy. He dove on our guy. Call it. The white shirt didn't. The white hat didn't.
Yeah, David, I think I was saying the same thing. If you're going to call it for Powell, you got to call it there. I think maybe the difference in the white hat's head, and I'm not speaking for him, I'm just saying, I think maybe the difference was Powell's quarterback, Potts, was kind of leaning back, so his helmet was up when Jacob hit him, whereas Mitchell, he was laying face down when he got hit in his back. But
you are taking their side, James. 3:09 to play. 2nd down, 14 yards to go. The loss is back to the 47-yard line. 3 minutes to play, first half, 21-7 Oak Ridge. Mitchell Gibbons rolls to his right. Wants to pass, fires a pass, throws it out of bounds. Once again, got a lot of pressure. Surprised he didn't hand it off there. Play action to the right side. And here comes the flag, and looks like another intentional grounding.
Yeah, David, it's going to be a grounding penalty as the Wildcats had a receiver really far downfield, which I think was the 30 to 25-yard line. Unfortunately, Mitchell was rolling out. He threw it about the 40-yard line into the stands. A little bit of a situational awareness there, and I think I'm with you, David. I think maybe it would be interesting to see. We've been able to run it on him the last drive. We continue to run it on him like we want to.
Yeah, I would have liked Mitchell right there. He obviously didn't have a receiver to just tuck it and run, stay in bounds, and keep the clock going, because now the clock is stopped with 2:55 to play, and it's 3rd down and very long.
Yeah, and we've seen how quick Mitchell can be. When he makes up his mind to go, instead of delaying and waiting for passes, Mitchell could have very easily, like you said, run it. And even if you get 5 yards, you get 5 yards as opposed to losing 5 on the drop back.
And 40 seconds off the clock, too. So it'll be 2nd down, 22 yards to go. 2 minutes, 55 seconds to play. 2nd quarter, 21-7. Last few plays. The Wildcats need a big play here. Let's see if they get a little pressure on him. Mitchell's going to hand it off Kendall Jackson. Kendall to the outside. Cuts it across the 30 or 45-yard line up to the 47-yard line. Let's see if Coach Lowe's going to call a timeout. I think the Panthers looked over to the head coach of the Panthers to say, do we call a timeout here? And he said, no, not yet. But now the play is stopped and a timeout is asked for by Powell. 2:38 to play. Not a good series of downs right there. The Wildcats should have done a better job, could have done a better job, kind of eating some clock right there. I think they would have liked to have gone into the dressing room and not give the ball back to the Powell Panthers. You go back to that 3rd down play on the previous drive where they went for the bomb and didn't get it. I think right there they just needed to run the ball. But like I said, I'm not a coach. It's just my opinion as an old broadcaster. But I don't like Powell's offense on the field. They're too good. They can score at any time. They've got weapons out on the field. It'll be 1st and 10 in a moment as the Wildcats will be forced to punt. 4th and 14.
Yeah, David, as you mentioned, you want to keep two kind of opposing views on offense here, as the Wildcats want to slow it down a little bit, take time off the clock. Powell is very comfortable in going fast, and so that's not going to get them out of order. They're basically in a 2-minute drill all the time, so that's going to be their normal offense. So it'll be even, you may say you got 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, whatever it is on the clock. That's normal for Powell, and that's not going to shock them.
21-7 the score. The Wildcats in the lead, as they've just announced on the public address system that Mitchell has thrown more touchdowns than anybody in the history of Oak Ridge football. I think Mike Sheehan probably gave him that. What do you bet? After we told him. Thanks, Mike. As the Wildcats are going to be in punt formation, 4th down, 14 yards to go. Mark and Shauna Hayes will have statistics at halftime. I don't think we'll fake it here. Ball's at the 47-yard line, 4th and 14. And let's see, the snap is good. It goes to Jacob Irvin. Jacob thought about it. Now he'll punt it. It's an end-over-end kick. It's going to take a great Oak Ridge bounce. It's going to roll all the way inside the 5-yard line, all the way down to the 3-yard line. Jacob Irvin, we love you, young man. 2:23 to play here in the first half. What a punt by the junior.
Yeah, David, and a lot of people were starting to get nervous as Jacob was just standing back there, and it was actually a smart move by Jacob as a punter. There wasn't much of a rush, and whatever rush there wasn't coming at him quickly. So to delay some time and to run some clock, he just stood back there for probably 3 or 4 seconds by himself and then kicked it end over end, and what a great punt it was.
All the way down to the Powell 3-yard line. 21-7 is our score. 2 minutes, 23 seconds to play in the first half, and an exciting first half of ball here. Got to remember last year the Wildcats were ahead over the Powell Panthers at halftime. Very similar ball game, yes. Let's see what Potts and company do here. They're backed up all the way to their 3-yard line. Their backs to Dean's Restaurant in Jackson Square. First down, 10 yards to go. Potts operating in his end zone. Fires it deep. There's an Oak Ridge man there. It's Matthew Swigert. Knocks it away. Second down, 10 yards to go. They took a shot. James Branson, good coverage by Matthew.
Yeah, it's great coverage there by Matthews. He just went up and batted it away. Something to keep in mind here if you're Powell is I don't know if I would want to be throwing out of my own end zone, because if you get a holding call, that's a safety.
2:17 to play. Remember, the Wildcats will get the ball first in the second half. Remember, we'll have a scoring summary. Mike Sheehan will do that for us. We'll have the statistics. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 3-yard line. Potts, a low snap, hands it off to his back, and they move the ball forward for a little bit, and I think Coach Lowe is thinking to himself, we got to get out of harm's way here and see what we can get some yardage, maybe kind of break a big run. Jacob Irvin there on the stop. It is 3rd down facing the Powell Panthers. The ball is at the 8, so it's 3rd down and 5. If they stop him here, I'm sure Coach Gaddis is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, David, and he should, as very opposite situations here. Not just a few moments ago, Oak Ridge was in a very similar situation.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. Potts from his own 8-yard line. Potts to pass. A lot of time to run. He's going to try to run. Cuts out to the outside. Now fires it to the sideline. Pass is going to be incomplete. And the Wildcats have forced them to punt. And the Wildcats should get great field position. Another good job by Jeff Miner's defense as the Wildcats will watch them punt. Can't jump off sides here. It's 4th down and 5. The Wildcats should get great field position. Could get a touchdown. Who knows? At least get in the field goal range and close out the half if they don't go off sides here.
Yeah, it's a great job by the defense as well. The linebackers flowing and making sure Potts wasn't able to sprint for the first down. Potts, I will give him credit, situational awareness. He got right to the line of scrimmage and went flat. So as we talked about, very elusive and delayed till the last second.
Low line drive kicks. Going to take a good bounce, though. It's going to be fielded by Oak Ridge at the 50. Preston Turner drilled down at the 45-yard line, and the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 with 1:20 to play. The Wildcats are coached by Joe Gaddis. The Wildcats are assisted by Jeff Miner, Brian Wyatt, Chad Hodge, Barry Saunders. Still coaching, Winston Russell, John Spratling, along with Tyler Jarnigan, along with Justin Pace, Zach James, Jordan Hanna, Ted Mitchell. The trainer is Brian Luffy Leffler. 1:17 to play in the first half. 21-7 is the score. The Wildcat offense. Do you play it conservative here? I think you do, honestly. I mean, maybe Kendall breaks one. Wildcats appear to be with a slot to the right, and that is Cole Adams. Kendall Jackson, the running back. First down, 10 yards to go at the 46-yard line of Powell. Now they're going to pass. Across the way. There's the slant. Incomplete. Is there a flag? Yes. Pass interference. Flag went down. Jonathan Stewart was the intended receiver. And the flag went down, and they'll penalize the Powell Panthers. So the Wildcats will get the benefit. And the pass was a little high, but Jonathan obviously got knocked down.
Yeah, David, it looked like the corner that was on Jonathan's side was playing deep, as well as the safety. I believe it was Jones, and who came up a little limp, and I think is coming off the field here, as I think he went low as Jonathan, as you said, was trying to go up and get it, and going to be first down. I think you continue to take shots like that now that you're basically around the 30-yard line.
Officially at the 29-yard line. Now they're walking backwards here, and now they're stepping it off. Yeah, I think they wanted to go from the point of the line of scrimmage. They wanted to get the spot. I'm okay with that. If you're not exactly sure, get it right, and they do, and they put it down right where they had it a moment ago, except 2 yards up at the 31. First and 10, 1:13 to play first half. 21-7, Oak Ridge in the lead. Wildcats, Jalen Hayward split to the left side. Jabryce Taylor to the left as a receiver. Matthew Swigert to the right. Oak Ridge, first down, 10 yards to go at the Powell 31. Handoff, Kendall Jackson. Kendall moves the ball forward and continues to drive his pile to the 25 to the 24. The Wildcats have 2 timeouts remaining. Wildcats will come to the line under a minute to play here. It'll be a gain on the play of 9. Second down, a yard to go. 55 seconds to play in the first half. Mitchell and company going fast. Handoff goes Kendall Jackson. Kendall has what appears to be a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down with 46.6 seconds. Kendall moves the ball around the left side. The Oak Ridge line has been superb the last 2 ball games. Officially, it is indeed a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Ball is at the 20. 44 seconds to play. Wildcats letting precious time tick off the clock here. They come to the line. First down 10. We're down to 35 seconds to play. Mitchell Gibbons, low snap, looks in the end zone, fires it there. That pass is incomplete right at the 3-yard line. Stops the clock with 29.3 seconds to play in the first half. Oak Ridge on top, 21-7. Cole Adams, the intended receiver.
Yeah, David, very similar play that Oak Ridge went back to, as that was the play that they scored on. Cole just leaks out of the backfield. Nice job by Mitchell there, putting it only where Cole could get it, because number 22 for Powell, which is Magdas, was covering him, but his back was turned. So Cole could make that play very easily, or nobody was going to make the play.
Play clock is down to 19 seconds. The Wildcats' Brian Wyatt, the offensive coordinator, signals it in to the senior quarterback. Wildcats still have 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Second down 10. The ball is at the Powell 20-yard line. 21-7 Oak Ridge. Mitchell back to pass. Rolls. Looks. Fires it. End zone. Passes there. Man is there. Incomplete. A little bit too far out of the back end of the end zone. Not a bad play by Mitchell. He really didn't have anybody there, and he threw it deep, so nobody but Jonathan was going to make the catch. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, David, as Mitchell was just rolling out, one of the things that the Wildcats had there, they had Jabryce Taylor sitting on basically a little screen route, so Mitchell was pressured toward the home sideline where Jabryce was, so he couldn't throw it there because he was covered. The only place to throw it was to Jonathan Stewart, or out of the back of the end zone, which is where Jonathan Stewart was near. Very smart play. Mitchell seems to be learning from his mistakes there about the intentional groundings.
I'd love to see a double pass right here, but I don't think it's going to happen. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Mitchell Gibbons, ball at the 20-yard line, all day to pass. Now fires a pass, intercepted, down the sideline. Wildcats need to make a stop. He cuts to the outside, he's tripped up by Kendall Jackson right at the 35-yard line. Threw it into coverage on the Oak Ridge sideline, so Powell once again gets a shot here. 15 seconds to play. Interception. The Wildcats' last 3 drives have not produced anything. Credit the Powell defense. They've got 15 seconds to work with.
Yeah, David, as Jonathan Stewart was the intended receiver there. Jonathan Stewart running a little comeback route, which is toward the sideline, and unfortunately Mitchell just put it toward his inside shoulder instead of his outside shoulder. Number 11 for Powell, which is Green, was able to step right in front of that, and I believe you mentioned that he returned it to the 35-yard line. Fortunately for the Wildcats, there's only 15 seconds left.
The 35 of Powell, so they still have a long field to go here. 15 seconds to play, but they have receivers left and right. One lone running back, Potts, first down 10. He's going to come back to his right with a pass, and up the sideline, right in the middle. They move the ball across midfield all the way down to the Oak Ridge 42-yard line with 7.2 seconds to play. 7.2 seconds to play. The clock will start, but not now because Powell calls a timeout. Let's take it with him. We'll be back to Blankenship Field, 21-7, back in 30 seconds.
Timeout, Powell.
We're running the ball, which is what we want to do. And I get that you got 20 seconds left, but that's I don't know.
David Clary, James Branson, Brian Bennett back in the studios of FM 92.7. First down, 10 yards to go for the Powell Panthers. Ball is at the Oak Ridge 42-yard line. 7 seconds to play, 21-7 the score. What you don't want to have happen here, the Wildcats have had 3 drives in the final 5 minutes of this half, haven't been able to get any points on the board. What you don't want is to give Powell any momentum here. There's not much time. 7 seconds to play here. First and 10.
Yeah, David, if the Wildcat defense is able to get some pressure, I think this could be the last play.
First down, 10 yards to go. The Oak Ridge crowd making a lot of noise now. Potts to pass. Here comes pressure. Here's the pass caught. And then the Wildcats make a great stop. The Wildcats there. Who is it? That is Jaden Elam. Stops the clock with 1.8 seconds to play. Powell uses their final timeout here. Not in field goal range, that's for sure. It's going to be Hail Mary time at Blankenship Field with 1.8 seconds to play on what is a beautiful senior night ball game here. The temperature is warm. Last week we were cold. This week, very pleasant.
Yeah, David, great weather here. And, we were even a little worried about the rain, and thank goodness that is held off because that's not a situation, especially if we want to run the ball where we want to be in. That play right there, previous play, was to Jones. He just kind of snuck out of the backfield. Great job there by Jaden Elam, as he just stayed on, came from his outside linebacker route, covered the flats really well, or else Jones could have gone for a long play.
Run FM 92.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Christian Rosas Rodriguez, along with Matthew Charles, Jordan Osborne, doing camera work, along with Tyler Morris, along with Kaiser Schwartz. Mark and Shauna Haste, Mike Sheehan will be doing some halftime work here. They'll have the first half statistics. Mike will have the scoring summary. 1.8 second to play here. Let's see where the safeties are. You can't get burned deep for sure. Second down, 11 yards to go. Potts, got to stop them. Let's see what they do. Potts rolling. Nobody to throw to. It's going to go deep. There's the man. Bat it down. It's going to be intercepted by the Wildcats. Cole Adams picks it off in the end zone, but there's a flag down on the play. Quarterback might have come across the line of scrimmage. We'll see what they say. It is going to be indeed a penalty against Powell, and the first half comes to a close. The Wildcats lead it 21-7. What a first half of football.
We talked about how quickly and how wild that first quarter was and how much scoring there was. And the second quarter was just as wild, but there was not much scoring. It was great defense and getting turnovers on both sides. As coincidentally, that is Potts going to be his second interception on night, one from Preston Turner, one from Cole Adams there at the end. And Powell has turned the ball over 4 times. You're not going to win games by turning the ball over 4 times.
One of our keys was to get pressure on the quarterback. We haven't done that quite yet. Get some takeaways. Do not turn the ball over. We have one. The interception there did not hurt the Wildcats. Keep the ball on the ground. Kind of got away from that a little bit in the second quarter, but Oak Ridge took advantage of those turnovers, and they lead at 21-7.
Yeah, David, and it's, a lot of momentum. And another thing that the Wildcats have going in their advantage here is they went on defense first, got a turnover on defense first. They're going to get the ball coming out of the second half.
We're going to take a break here. 21-7 is our score. We're on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Oak Ridge on top of the Powell Panthers. The winner finishes second, gets a home playoff game 2 weeks from tonight against either Walker Valley or Soddy Daisy. The loser goes on the road to play either Walker Valley or Soddy Daisy. I think we've seen enough of Soddy Daisy over the last several years.
I would go the other way. I think Soddy Daisy's seen enough of us, whether it's coming here. And there was a wild shootout one year where we put in a lot of subs, and they just kept throwing it, kept their first team in, and came almost nearly back. But we were able to defeat them. And then going down there, I think they won their region last year, or one of the top 2 teams. And, we went down and took care of business, which was a great victory for us.
The Oak Ridge Wild Band is strolling out on the field here, and they're getting ready to perform. Oak Ridge on top at halftime, 21-7. We're going to send it back to Brian Bennett. When we come back, Mike Sheehan will have the scoring summary. Oak Ridge leads Powell, 21-7. Back to Blankenship Field in 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Oak Ridge High School Wildcat Marching Band is proud to present Jazz Journey 1941. The Wild Band hopes to transport the audience back to a time of historic significance for this community via the music of that great era. Their first production, Caravan, features the music of one of America's greatest composers, jazz legend Duke Ellington. The second selection is Glenn Miller's iconic swing-era hit, In the Mood. Please welcome drum major Sierra Eubanks and Amira McCall as they lead the Wildcat Marching Band on a Jazz Journey 1941.
To change the tapes. Awesome, thank you. John.
Just let me know when you want me to do it from the start.
Right after we finish talking. When we finish talking. And then if Mark is not done, go ahead and send it back up. Thank you.
David Clary, James Branson back here at Blankenship Field. The Oak Ridge Wild Band performing down in front of us here. The Wildcats lead the Powell Panthers by a score of 21-7. Big crowd on hand here at senior night. The Wildcats took advantage of a couple turnovers. Why don't we send it over to Mike Sheehan, who has got the scoring summary of the first half. We'll get the mic here in a second here. 21-7 the score. Got to get that mic working over there from Mike to get the scoring summary.
Okay.
Got a lot of moving parts here. We got several cameramen. Here's Mike.
Okay, David, thank you very much. They start things off, the Oak Ridge Wildcats, with 5 minutes and 23 seconds left. Mitchell Gibbons threw an 11-yard pass to Cole Adams into the end zone after a 40-yard fake punt by Preston Turner. Got the ball, moved the ball down into Wildcats scoring territory, and the Wildcats were able to put it in. They went up 6-0. Then Tyler Dunnan came in the extra point, and it was good. And then 57 seconds later, after a fumble by the Powell Panthers, the Oak Ridge Wildcats handed the ball off to Kendall Jackson, drove the ball down to the 1. Then Kendall took it in from 1 yard out, and the Wildcats went up 13-0 with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Then Efren Rodriguez came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 14-0. Then with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the first quarter, Jordan Faust threw a pass to J.J. Faust, and the Panthers were on the board 6-0. Then the extra point by the Panthers was good, and the Wildcats led 14-7. Then in the second quarter, Mitchell Gibbons threw an 8-yard touchdown pass to Jabrise Taylor, and the Wildcats went up 20-7 with 11 minutes and 14 seconds into the game. Then Efren Rodriguez kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 21-7. And a big disappointment for Preston Turner. He returned the ball about 64 yards for a touchdown, but unfortunately for the Wildcats, they got caught for a block in the back, and that touchdown got called back. So the halftime score ended up 21-7. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to Mark and Shauna Preston for the halftime statistics.
Thank you very much, Mike. As you said, Oak Ridge on top at the half over the Powell Panthers by a score of 21-7. Leading on the ground for the Wildcats is Kendall Jackson. He has 14 carries for 66 yards. Preston Turner has a 34-yard fake punt. Jabrise Taylor has a 1-yard run, and Mitchell Gibbons has minus 10 yards on 3 carries. So as a team, the Wildcats in the first half carried the ball 19 times, totaling 91 yards on the ground. Through the air, Mitchell Gibbons, quarterback for the Wildcats, he's 6 of 11 for 64 yards. He does have 1 interception. His long tonight is 16 yards. Jabrise Taylor has 2 receptions for the Wildcats for 24 yards. Brandon Hayward has 2 receptions totaling 20 yards. Jonathan Stewart has a 10-yard reception, and Cole Adams has a 10-yard reception as well. So, as I said, the Wildcats have 91 yards on the ground on 19 carries. They have 64 yards through the air on 6 receptions for a total offense tonight of 155 yards. Wildcats have 9 first downs in the first half and then been penalized 5 times for 31 yards. Now looking at the Powell Panthers, they're led on the ground by Jordan Brown. He has 4 carries for 28 yards. His long is 26 tonight. Jarvis Stockton has 5 carries for 7 yards, and then quarterback Jordan Potts has 1 carry for minus 6 yards. As a team, the Panthers have carried the ball 10 times, totaling 29 yards on the ground. They've been much more effective through the air. Jordan Potts is 5 of 23 for 222 yards with 2 interceptions. Receiving for the Panthers, Jaden Collins has 4 receptions for 88 yards. Darius Redmond has 44 yards on 2 receptions. Jason Faust also with 44 yards on 5 receptions. Aiden Green has a 41-yard reception. And R.J. Jones has 5 yards on 3 receptions. As a team, the Panthers have 29 yards on the ground on 10 carries. They have 222 yards on 15 receptions for a total offense of 251 yards. Panthers have 10 first downs in the ballgame. They've been penalized 3 times for 35 yards. So now looking at the team side by side. On the ground, Oak Ridge has 91 yards. Powell, 29. Through the air, Oak Ridge has 64 yards through the air. Powell, 222. So impressive night for the Powell Panthers. Total offense, Oak Ridge has 155 yards total offense. Powell, 251. So nearly 100 yards more total offense for the Powell Panthers. But Oak Ridge has a 14-point lead. First downs, Oak Ridge has 9, Powell 10. Penalties, Oak Ridge 5 for 31. Powell has 3 for 35. As I said, Oak Ridge leads at the half over the Powell Panthers by a score of 21-7. And we'll be back after this 3-minute timeout.
Former Wildcat Brian Jones, a halftime performance here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats on top 21-7 over the Powell Panthers. The significance of this ball game, I can't emphasize it anymore. If you remember last year, James, we kind of struggled down the stretch. Lost to Powell, lost to Fulton, which sent Oak Ridge on the road for the playoffs, where we had to play Soddy Daisy in that first round, the region champions down there, and then thrust us into a game against the West High Rebels at West. The difference in this one, if the Wildcats can win this ball game, they will finish second. West has already wrapped up the Region 3 standings. They would host either Walker Valley or Soddy Daisy. If they were to win that game, they would have to go on the road, probably to Ray County, which I honestly love going to Ray County. And Ray County is a team that we've played in the playoffs several times before. So getting that home field advantage in the playoffs, the Wildcats have an exceptional record at home here at Blankenship Field in playoff games.
Yeah, David, they have. And, getting those home games are extremely important as, it's such a great atmosphere in the playoffs. And, thinking about this season and last season, started off very similarly. And, Coach Gaddis likes playing a tough schedule because those tough games games and tough schedules really set you up to succeed well in playoffs. You'd rather face adversity and overcome it in the regular season than face adversity and not be able to overcome it in the playoffs.
I tell you, somebody in a team that played for a state championship on that field, Blankenship Field, back in 1980, that was the Wildcats. Played Germantown High School here at Blankenship Field. That's a couple of years they played on home sites. I think the 79 one, we had to go to Jackson Central Mary, beat them there. In 1980, we played Germantown here. You had the opportunity to speak to Emory Hale, one of the legendary figures of Oak Ridge High School football, sports, and just a great community guy. What did old Emory have to say to you today?
Man, it was really great just to be able to talk to Coach Hale, as you know, we talked about, still as energetic and still as could probably still be coaching today if he wanted to, of how much he loves the game and how well he spoke at being at Oak Ridge. You know, you talked about he took over for Coach Armstrong way early in the season. He said that he interviewed for a job at Greenville and said yes, said no, said yes, said no, and eventually said no. And soon after that, he came to Oak Ridge. Talking about his teams, it's amazing how sharp and how many memories he still has from being at Oak Ridge, whether it's the 75 team that he won the state championship with, the 79 or the 80 team that he won state championship with. But the games that stuck with him most were kind of the 76 and 77 teams that were really not far away from that state championship game. And he talked about going on the road and going and playing in Memphis. You talked about playing at home sites, playing a lot of games in Memphis, playing as, I think he said, Christian brothers, and having to play them and those tough teams and tough schedules, and how difficult that was, and how very few teams made it to the playoffs. So just getting to the playoffs was pretty impressive during that time.
Why don't we send it back out once again to Mike Sheehan? I think Mike's got some scores of other ball games. Mike, if you'll take it away, give us some scores of other ball games.
Thank you, David. I have some really interesting score. One in particular, I'm going to save the best for last. To let you know first, the Farragut Admirals are over at, these are all halftime scores, by the way. Farragut 35, Hardin Valley nothing. Dobbins Bennett Science Hill battling out up in Upper East Tennessee, 21-17 at the half. Anderson County's putting it on East Hamilton at the half, 40-0. Alcoa leads Gatlinburg Pittman 37-0. Knox Halls and Sevier County are battling it out. The Halls is up at half by 1, 15-14. Another big game tonight going on up in McMinn County, a big struggle. Surprisingly, the Maryville Red Rebels are only up at the half, 7-0. Campbell County's over the 20-13 over the Clinton Dragons right now at the half. And Ray County, the team you talked about a minute ago, 8-0. They're up on Carnes 21-0 at the half. And the shocker for me, and I think everybody, Knox Catholic at the half is leading West High School 21-10, David.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate that. Right here, it's 21-7. The Wildcats have still yet to come down from the dressing room. The Powell Panthers, their kicking team has come down from the dressing room, so it looks like we're going to have an extended halftime. Why don't we take another break, send it back to Brian Bennett. Oak Ridge on top, 21-7. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 3 minutes.
What he said.
David Clary back here along with James Branson. We're at halftime. We've had a long halftime, 21-7 the score. TSSAA, James, just came out with their numbers, their reclassification for the 21-23 season. The Wildcats remain a 5A school. They are the largest 5A school in the state of Tennessee. The cutoff was 1,500. Oak Ridge has 1,496 players. So essentially, if those 4 players that went over to Clinton had stayed here, we would be a 6A school, but that's not the case.
That's really impressive, and you know what's interesting about that is, Oak Ridge has always been one of the higher classifications anyway, whether in the old classification system, 5 classifications for public schools, or now 6 classifications. And to Oak Ridge's credit, we play a very tough schedule, like we mentioned before, and we already play a lot of 6A teams: Mount Juliet, Farragut, Dobbins-Bennett, Hardin Valley even this year. So that's 4 teams that we could have potentially been playing anyway.
Different next year in baseball and basketball, they're going to go up a classification. There are going to be 4 classifications. Oak Ridge will be a 4A school, I believe, in the classification for basketball. With Clinton, Halls, teams that we've had for years, will be dropping down to 3A unless they elect to play up. So a lot of things happening. I just hope we have a basketball season this year. It begins on November the 17th against the Kingston Yellow Jackets. That'll be at the Wildcat Arena. But hopefully we have about, 5 more football games to go.
Yeah, that'd be great, David. Have 5 more football games. You're playing for a state championship in late November, early December. It's going to take a lot of work, but, Oak Ridge has put themselves in that scenario to be good enough based on the competition they played and how well they've played against that competition.
We're about to have the start of the second half, but neither team has taken the field yet. Wildcats will be receiving the opening kickoff. If you're Matt Lowe, you didn't do well in that first possession. You wanted the ball first, or they got the ball first, turned the ball over. Oak Ridge turned it into points. Do you roll the dice just a little bit and do an onside kick?
I don't know. Maybe you do. You're down 2 scores. I think with the offense that he has and the Powell defense playing fairly well, but credit Oak Ridge that they have held on to the football like their plan was going to be. So maybe you do. Maybe you're down 2 scores and you realize maybe we can get some momentum here.
21-7 is our score. The ball's about to be teed up. They'll be kicking from right to left here. The Panthers wearing their all-white jerseys, white football pants, orange and black trim. The Wildcats in their cardinal pants, cardinal jerseys, 2 white stripes down the side of their pants. And here's the kick. It's a pop-up kick, very short. Preston's going to field it. Boom! Called for a fair catch and got annihilated. Called for a fair catch. I'm pretty sure he did, but did they see a flag?
They did throw a flag, David. It was the back line judge here. The Preston came sprinting up, running for a fair catch, and it was recognized, and Powell just lit into him. So another mental mistake here by Powell. Not only do you give Oak Ridge the ball at what would have been the 35-yard line, that would have been, this is going to be an additional penalty for a late hit here after the fair catch was called for. So this is going to be close up to midfield for the Wildcats.
Look at Jason Powell celebrating that. You're celebrating a dirty play. Unbelievable right there. As the penalty yardage is indeed stepped off, the Wildcats are going to get great field position all the way up to the 49-yard line. So another mistake by Matt Lowe's Powell Panthers. And it'll be first down and 10 yards to go. The ball is going to be at the 49-yard line. Wildcat offense is on the field. Oak Ridge will have it first down and 10 yards to go. The ball is going to be at the 49-yard line. Wildcats Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Single running backs, Kendall Jackson. Jabryce Taylor gets the call, gets a big hole, moves the ball forward all the way up to the 41-yard line, where it'll be for the Wildcats. Fine game by Jabryce. Why don't we set that offensive line once again for the Oak Ridge Wildcats? They did such great work in the first half.
The offensive line for the Wildcats include left tackle Nick Dallas, left guard Robert Hill, center Ethan Hewitt, and right guard Vinny West, and right tackle Kason Staggs.
Gain of 6 on the play. Second down, 4 yards to go. 11:23 to play. Actually, 11:28 to play in the third quarter. 21-7 is our score. Wildcats have the ball at the Powell 43-yard line. Oak Ridge in the lead. Third quarter action just underway here. Wildcats will hand it off to Kendall Jackson. Straight ahead run to the 40-yard line. Gain 3. I think he'll be a yard short. I think it'll be third down and a yard to go. Coach Gaddis told me on the TV show on Wednesday that controlling the ball is what they need to do. They need to move the chains, keep that Powell offense off the field. The Wildcats have it 30 yard.
Yeah, David, as Oak Ridge is coming out with a little bit of deception based on the motion last time in the first play with Jabryce handing off to him instead of Kendall.
Once again, the Wildcats, there's movement. Let's see who jumped off sides. Official says what? I don't see any signal yet. Play was halted there for a second. There is a flag. They're discussing it. It's going to be illegal procedure against the Wildcats. So a 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge. So that hurts us. 10:44 to play. Wildcats have not been a very penalized team in this one this season, except for 2 really ball games, last week and the Clinton ball game. So now it's 3rd and 6, makes it a little bit tougher for Oak Ridge.
A little bit tougher, but maybe you go with a little play action pass here with maybe trying to hit a slant route or something over the middle. I think you try to use Kendall as a decoy here and play action pass with him, or try to throw maybe a short little screen pass to one of our receivers.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is Brandon Hayward wearing Jalen Hayward's number. We mentioned number 6 was in there, as Oak Ridge is going to use one of their timeouts. Not a good situation there. We were seeing Jalen Hayward's number in there, but obviously as a tribute to the senior, his brother, his brother is wearing his number. So we apologize to Brandon. That is Jalen Hayward out there, or Brandon Hayward.
Yeah, that's Brandon Hayward wearing number 6. So what I think is really cool here is a lot of the seniors or siblings of the seniors are kind of honoring those people. So Brandon wearing the number 6 tonight in honor of his brother, I guess, who is a senior, couldn't play tonight. Cole Adams wearing number 44 for Jacob Adams, his older brother, and Jaden Elam wearing number 32 tonight.
Isn't Jackson Adams wearing number 79?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure. But that number 10, is really carried in the family. You know, Greg Adams, his uncle, his dad, Garfield Adams, new principal who was announced at halftime, was number 10. And Vince, his older uncle, also wore number 10.
It is 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the Wildcats. The ball is at the 45-yard line of the Powell Panthers. Mitchell Gibbons, Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Mitchell's going to play action in a lot of trouble. Sack. Nobody blocking out there, and Mitchell goes down at the 45-yard line. Best penetration of the night for the Panthers.
Yeah, David, and what happens on that play and what happened on previous plays where Oak Ridge play actions, basically fake the handoff to Kendall Jackson, and Mitchell rolls opposite, so he turns his back to the defense momentarily. And when Powell has seen that, they have blitzed off the edge, and Mitchell, unfortunately, has to run right into that blitz.
So the Wildcats can't take advantage of the great field position. They'll be in punt formation. Wildcats have gotten some good punt work out of Jacob Bourbon. A nice fake by Preston Turner. It's going to be Jacob punting. Gets another good one, end over end kick. It's going to take a great Oak Ridge bounce, almost picked up by the Panthers. They do pick it up, and they try to get to the corner, and he's going to be driven out of bounds all the way back at around the 15-yard line or so. It'll be Oak Ridge back on defense. 9:26 to play. Kai Hirsch, they're on the stop. Officially, they run him out at the 9-yard line.
I don't really understand the thought process there by the returner. I believe it was number 22, Magdus, who went basically inside his 5-yard line to pick up a bounding and end-over-end punt, and instead he probably could have just let it roll right into the end zone and get the ball at the 20 for Powell. Not a very smart play there.
First down, 10 yards to go, 9:26 to play third quarter. Powell starting this drive at their own 10 officially. Potts the quarterback, Jordan Potts. He's a good one. Young guy taking over from a good one that graduated a year ago. Handoff goes to the back, and he's going to move the ball forward. That is Kelly on the stop for the Wildcats. The running back was
Brown on number 7, Brown for Powell Panthers.
Yeah, James was trying to give me the signals, and I wasn't sure exactly who he was trying to tell me. It's a gain of 3. Second down, 7 yards to go. 9 minutes to play third quarter, 21-7. Last year, the Wildcats had a big lead until the fourth quarter. Wildcats trying to hopefully avoid that collapse. 8:54 to play. Second down, 7 yards to go. The ball at the Powell 13-yard line. Their backs to Jackson Square. Potts will pass. It's dropped. Incomplete. Third down, 7 yards to go. 21-7. Green, the intended receiver. So they have Green and Brown out there.
I'm not sure. I think there's a Redmond, actually, number 10 or 11 for them. So they got all the colors out on the field, Powell. But on that play, really nice job there by getting some pressure and forcing a little bit of a quick throw as Trey Rowe was coming off the edge, which is why I think Potts threw it very quickly to Green.
Wildcats have been able to alternate 3 pretty good defensive ends this year. Trey Rowe, Kai Hirsch, and Jackson Adams this year. It'll be third down, 7 yards to go. The ball at the Powell 13-yard line. Oak Ridge would like a stop right here. They should get good field position if they can stop them. Potts, straight drop, lots of pressure. He's almost sacked. Rolls to his right, looks down the field, cuts it up the field, and is driven out of bounds. And it looks like he picks up a first down. So the Wildcats finally got a little pressure on him, but he was elusive enough to get away, and it's a first down for the Panthers. They move the ball up the field, 1st and 10. Ball is going to be at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, David, that was Matthew Swaggart coming on a corner blitz there. Matthew getting great penetration. I think he should have attacked the outside hip of Potts there and possibly had a better shot at the sack. And instead, he kind of got twisted around as Potts was able to get out of it.
8:38 to play here. He went out of bounds. It's first down, 10 yards to go at the Panther 22-yard line. Potts will hand it to the back, and right in the middle he is met by Jacob Bourbon, but he does pick up pretty good yardage up close to the 30-yard line. The Wildcats, the first man to hit him was Jacob Bourbon, and then I think he's finished off by Elam and one other Wildcat. It's a gain of 8. Second down, 2 yards to go. 8:21 to play. Third quarter, 21-7. The Wildcats in the lead. Quick handoff goes for what appears to be a first down. Brian Kelly makes the stop, but he moves the ball up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Powell.
I'll start here as they've kind of rotated 2 running backs back and forth. Number 7, Brown, and number 10, Stockton, who Stockton has been in the past couple plays.
3 receivers split to the left side for the Panthers as their backs to Jackson Square. They're going fast here. 1 lone running back. Handoff to the back, and he lowers his shoulder and moves the ball for a gain of about a yard or so. 7:51 to play, third quarter. 21-7 is our score as they move the ball to the 36-yard line.
Very interesting strategy here by Powell as they are running the football. The past 4 plays, actually, with Potts on that scramble, have run the football. So a little bit different from what they have traditionally been this year, but they tried to do this in the first half and it didn't really work.
Gain of 2 on the play. Second down, 8 yards to go. 7:24 to play. Clock moving. The ball's at the Powell 38-yard line. Once again, they have receivers to the left and to the right. Man comes in motion to the right side. Quarterback rolls that way, feeling backside pressure. Eludes a sack, moves the ball forward, and is bumped by Brian Kelly right at around looks like the 43-yard line. Potts Nice run. It'll be third down facing the Panthers. Keeping it on the ground here. I think it looked like that was their game plan, I think, to start the ball game, but they turned the ball over and they had to go to the air. It's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, David is put under pressure and forced to run there by Brian Kelly, who made the tackle. Trey Rowe was also giving chase. It looks like he was pointing toward his shoulder, so he came out. Kai Hirsch is
3rd down, 3 yards to go. As I mentioned, at the 43-yard line of the Panthers. Powell handed off to the back, and he finds good room, eludes a tackle. Cole Adams and company finally make the stop, but not before he gets across midfield up to the 47-yard line. That was Brown again on the carry. 1st and 10. Cole Adams, first man to hit him, and they're just kind of grinding it using the strength of their offensive line. It's another first down.
Yeah, a little bit of a counterplay there by him, and I think Brown, honestly, if I'm choosing the running backs, I think Brown's their best running back.
Here they come to the line once again quickly. They are not taking much time at all here. Down 14 points. Hand off to the back, and he's met at the line by Cole and driven down hard, and a flag goes down. Might have a hold against the Powell Panthers. It's a gain of about 4. We'll check the call. The official comes over to say no official word yet. They're talking about it. The ball is put down right at the 44-yard line. Matt Lowe intently watching these officials get together and talk about it.
Yeah, David, it looks like it should be a hold, I believe, on number 56 for Powell, as he just got out on the edge. And when he did, he was met by Jacob Bervin, which it is a hold on Powell, and it was number 56. He pulled around. Jacob was flowing to the football, and 56 for them basically just pulled Jacob down, and it was right in front of the line judge right there. So 10-yard penalty going to be stepped off on the Powell Panthers.
5:58 to play third quarter, 21-7. Oak Ridge in the lead. They're going to step yardage back out to the 41-yard line of Powell. It'll be face mask, the official call against the Panthers. Clock starts to move again. 5:50 to play. 21-7 Wildcats. Second down, 22 yards to go. The Wildcats secondary includes Jonathan Stewart, Preston Turner. Wildcats have Matthew Swigert there as well. Second down, 22 yards to go. Potts to pass. Here comes some pressure. Nearly sacked, fires a pass, intercepted Oak Ridge. The Wildcats, Jonathan Stewart. He's got the ball at the 50, cuts to the Oak Ridge sideline. Down the field he goes, 40, 25, 20. Jonathan Stewart takes it into the end zone. Pick! Jonathan Stewart puts, turns it over. Another Powell turnover, and Oak Ridge has the lead, 27-7. Jonathan Stewart all the way in for the...
Great job there by Jonathan Stewart on an underthrown ball just to come from his safety position to pick up that pass and race into the end zone. Couple points here. The reason that was a pick six was because of the pressure of the defensive line, who were all around Potts and forced a bad throw. Second thing, Wildcats learned from their mistake. They don't block in the back, which is why we have a touchdown on the board now.
27-7, the Wildcats up their lead, and Efren Rodriguez will attempt another extra point. The holder, Hayden Tarwater. The ball is down. The kick is good. The Wildcat lead is 21 points over the Powell Panthers. The Wildcats trying to earn a home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. 28-7 our score. We'll be back with a Wildcat kickoff in 60 seconds.
In to kick off for the Wildcats, number 81, Tyler Dunham. Deep for the Powell Panthers, number 22, Gianni Magnus.
David Clary back here along with James Branson. Tyler Dunham about to kick off again. 28-7. The Wildcats have sure taken advantage of the Panther mistakes here. Here's a deep kick this time. It's going to be returnable. Fielded at the 5 to the 10 to 15. And the Wildcats trying to pursue him, and they're going to get him down right at around the 26-yard line. The Wildcats, Magnus was on the return, but the Wildcats drop him with really good coverage with Hayward, I believe, the first man to make the stop.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there on the coverage by the Wildcats as they, special teams-wise, they've switched it up. They kicked the pop-up kick, they kicked the deep kick. And credit Tyler Dunham. He's doing a great job with the deep kick, but credit the coverage team as they're not allowing any much of a return, and you got to be happy for that special teams-wise.
The Wildcats have defeated the Panthers 5 of the last 6 times they've played. Last year, Powell won 28-21 at Powell. 5:14 to play third quarter, 28-7. The Wildcats in the lead. The Wildcats trying to get a home playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. With a victory, they'll secure second place and that home playoff ball game. Potts back to pass, 1st and 10. Little screen pass is caught. The Wildcats try to make the stop. Bourbon finishes him off at around the 30-yard line. It's a gain of about 4 on the play, maybe 5. I think he got up to the 31. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go. You talk about taking advantage of their mistakes, James Branson. The Wildcats have really done that. 3 turnovers turned into 3 scores.
Not only 3 turnovers, but 3 picks for Potts and 2 fumbles for the Wildcats to recover. So 5 turnovers total for the Wildcats.
Handoff goes to the running back, and he drives forward. The Wildcats bring him down after a gain. The Wildcats currently have Preston Turner in the ball game, so Cole has an interception, Preston has an interception, and Jonathan Stewart has an interception. And Matthew Swigert, he's had 2 in a row, Carnes game and Mount Juliet. It's his turn. Let's pick it off here, Matthew. 4:21 to play, third quarter, first down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats on top of Powell, 28-7. Wildcats watching Potts across the middle. Pass is caught. What a beautiful pattern. He's going to take it all the way in for a score. Beautiful play by the Powell Panthers. Beautiful, beautiful play by Powell. And they take it in just like that. They're right back in the ball game.
Yeah, David, I was just about to ask, what do you do if you're Powell? Because the passing game hasn't worked very well, except for the first drive. They've been able to move the ball, but the Wildcats have been able to stop them. Running game is taking too long. You're down by 3 scores. What do? Nice little slant route over the middle there to Collins, and man, Collins has good speed.
Is he the one that's got the Division I offers already?
I believe so.
Yeah. It'll be Powell going for the extra point here. 4:04 to play third quarter, 28-13. And the extra point attempt about to be attempted. The ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick, it is good. 28-14 our score. A new ball game once again. 4:04 to play. We'll be back with the Powell kickoff in 60 seconds.
How long is that interception by Jonathan?
It was about 60. I think about 60.
It smells out here.
Bill Mars to kick off for the Panthers. Deep for the Wildcats, number 3, Bryce Taylor. And number 6.
Back here at Blankenship Field, 28-14. The Wildcats on top of Powell. 4:04 to play. Here's the kick. It's a pop-up kick. Bryce Taylor's going to field it at the 20. 25. Bryce Taylor tries to cut outside. No place to go. Moves the ball to the 30, and that is where he's tackled. It'll be Oak Ridge taking over. First down, 10 yards to go. Wildcats have got to move the ball. The Wildcats' last touchdown scored on a defensive touchdown. The interception return. The Wildcat offense is kind of stagnant here in the last 3 drives, maybe even 4 drives.
Yeah, David, and some of those we've been able to move the ball, just not able to get going very much into that. Interesting scenario right there. It seems as Powell is doing the little pop-up kick as well, and Oak Ridge was prepared for that, which is why Oak Ridge is now at the 31-yard line to start the drive.
3 minutes, 56 seconds to play in the third quarter. 28-14, the Wildcats in the lead. Senior quarterback Mitchell Gibbons. Darren Osborne's in a slot. Handoff goes Kendall Jackson. A full head of steam. Moves the ball forward. Across the 35-yard line. Up to around the 37. Perhaps even beyond to the 38-yard line. It's a gain on the play. A good gain on first down for the Wildcats. It's a gain officially, they're going to say 6 yards. Second down, a long 3 to go for a first. 3:37 to play. I know it's too early to milk the clock all the way down each time, but, why not?
Now, if you can continue to run the football exactly, why not milk it down each time and maybe even force Powell to use some of their timeouts and tire out their defense?
Second down, 3.5 yards to go for a first. Low snap. Handoff goes to Kendall. Kendall moves the ball to the 40. That's a gain of 3. That's close to a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. Might be about a yard short. He had to get up close to the 41-yard line, so it'll be third down and a yard to go. No mistakes here. The Wildcats have had good field position on a couple of occasions. Haven't been able to get first downs. A penalty on the last drive. Don't want any motion here. They just need 1 yard for a first down. Here come the Wildcats. The Panthers pounding on the aluminum bleachers across the field there. Third down, 1 yard to go. Mitchell looks over to Coach Wyatt. The play clock down to 17. Kendall has the new play. Oak Ridge needs a yard for a first down to continue this drive. 2:35 and counting. We're down to 2:33. Kendall handoff. That's a first down. 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down as he dives all the way to the 45-yard line. Vintage Kendall Jackson powered his way and almost over the top of the entire Powell line. First and 10 Oak Ridge.
A couple things here, David. Number one, credit Kendall Jackson for hitting the hole hard, straight down the middle like he's been coached to do. Credit the offensive line. They're moving the line of scrimmage ahead, so Kendall isn't getting touched for a couple yards here. That is why Oak Ridge has been able to pick up those first downs. Interesting there, Powell is not running a safety on the field, so anything deep's wide open.
2 minutes to play third quarter, 28-14 Oak Ridge, first and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Kendall Jackson, this time nothing. They came around the outside and dropped him. He'll lose a yard or so, maybe a full yard. It'll be second down and 11 yards to go. 11:45 to play third quarter, 28-14. That's the Oak Ridge Band playing and singing close to us. Wildcats have kept the ball on the ground, ticking it on down, 95 seconds to play third quarter.
Yeah, on that play, Kendall was not able to get a head of steam going, but what was interesting is Brandon Hayward, recognizing that there was no safety, ran on a little post route here, so it'll be interesting to see if Wildcats play on that because he was wide open.
Brandon Hayward, Jabrise Taylor to the left. Mitchell's going to pass. Pass is going to be caught. That'll be Jonathan Stewart trying to break a tackle. Did not. Got it up to the 47-yard line where now it'll be third down and about 9 yards to go. And officially third down, 8 yards to go. And they're going to move the chains just a bit. Jonathan comes out of the ball game. A minute to play here in the third period. Now the clock is wound. The Wildcats will get another receiver, Matthew Swigert, into the ball game. Brandon Hayward wearing his brother Jalen's number 6 today. We apologize for the earlier confusion there. Coach Gaddis didn't tell me that. I'm going to let him know about that. Jabrise Taylor is a receiver to the left. The Wildcats need 7 yards. Play clock is down to 17 seconds. The game clock down to 38 seconds to play third quarter. Once again, Kendall Jackson, third down 7, Mitchell to pass. Breaking down, runs it. Moves the ball to the 46. Didn't get a first down. It's going to be fourth down, but that might be the final play. In fact, it will be the final play of the third quarter. Oak Ridge on top of the Powell Panthers, 28-14. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter of this one following this 60-second timeout.
The only thing the difference is we missed an extra point. We missed an extra point.
That is the end of the third quarter. The Oak Ridge Wildcats football would like to recognize the following businesses and organizations for providing meals for our Wildcat football team. Birdwell Catering, Central Baptist Church, Calhoun's of Oak Ridge, Calvary Baptist Church, Buster Saldana, Enrichment Federal Credit Union, Gallo Loco Mexican Restaurant, Linwood Baptist Church, Honey Baked Ham of Oak Ridge, Kern United Methodist Church, Mortgage Investor Group of Oak Ridge Opry's Restaurant, Oak Ridge Food City.
David Clary, James Branson back here, Blankenship Field, 28-14 the score. The Wildcats in the lead. I'd like to thank our statisticians, Mark and Shauna Hayes, Mike Sheehan, for joining us on our broadcast today. Our camera personnel on Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, along with Jordan Osborne, Tyler Morris, and Kaiser Schwartz. My name is David Clary, along with James Branson, Brian Bennett's back in the studios. You told me something I didn't want to think about here, James, a minute ago, is going into the fourth quarter last year, similar score.
It's a very similar score. I believe it was 27-14. Oak Ridge was up by 2 scores. Powell had a great fourth quarter. Credit them for that. Last year made a lot of great plays. The key thing there from last year, though, was we missed an extra point. We haven't missed one, so we have 28 points. So we still lead by 2 scores.
Wildcats are in punt formation. 4th down, 8 yards to go. The offense has been very stagnant. Preston's going to punt it. High kicks, not very long. Fair catch is made right at the 25-yard line, and that is where Powell will take over. 1st and 10, 11:53 to play in the ballgame, 28-14. The stakes are high. The winner is going to host a playoff ball game 2 weeks from tonight. Reminder, there is no game next week. For those of you who are not aware, some COVID unfortunately hit the Fulton Falcons, and they had to shut down their football program for the next 2 weeks. So next week's game with Fulton is a forfeit win for the Wildcats. Fulton will finish 4th in the region. They're in the playoffs, but they're down for the next 2 weeks, including tonight's game, which was scheduled against West. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. The handoff goes to the running back, and he just breaks into the secondary, and he gains big yardage, about 20 yards. Got to do better than that. That's right up the gut running there. We don't want to let them back in this ball game.
We don't want to let him back in the ball game. And Stockton, he's pretty good at running straight downhill, as he demonstrated there. And Powell's going really quick again. Got to get 2 scores.
Potts at quarterback, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Stockton again with the handoff, and this time not as much, but then he breaks a tackle and gains almost 9 yards on the play. All of a sudden, they are getting it done.
Yeah, David, and I think one of the reasons that may be occurring is the Wildcats are very aware of how well Powell passes it, and that's, they demonstrated that on their previous drive, and so that may be opening up the run for them.
Morgan and Boone in the interior line. Potts is going to hand it off again, and once again they move the ball into Oak Ridge territory all the way down to the Oak Ridge, close to the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain on the play. That's Stockton again on the carry. Gain, not quite as much, but still a good gain. Gain of about 7. 2nd and 3, 10:53 to play. The Wildcat lead is only 28-14. Oak Ridge's offense hasn't scored in a while. As the Powell Panthers, Wildcats could use another turnover from the Panthers. Potts at quarterback, looks over to Coach Lowe. 10:40 to play in the ball game. 28-14 the score. 2nd down, 3 yards to go at the Oak Ridge 37-yard line, heading towards Jackson Square. Handoff to the running back, and again he moves the ball forward. That offensive line now starting to really open up some big holes for their running backs, and it's another 1st down for Powell.
Powell gets the 1st down there with Brown on that play. They substitute him in for Stockton, do a nice job of rotating them. And honestly, what helps Powell out in this scenario is you're getting good chunk yardage on 1st down, so they're able to play whatever they want on 2nd down.
The interior line's got to be getting tired for Oak Ridge as the handoff goes to the back, and he breaks into the secondary again. Got tripped up finally by the Wildcats. The stop is made out there by Jonathan Stewart, but not before another 1st down run. They are just getting big yardage and big chunks. We're down to 10 minutes to play in the game. They've got it all the way down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, David, and it looks like they're going to go quick here.
Handoff goes to the back again. This time is going to move the ball inside the 20 to about the 18, so not a big gain there. 9:45 to play. Oak Ridge holding on to the lead here, 28-14. It'll be for the Panthers, second down for them, 6 yards to go. The ball at the 16-yard line. You talk about going fast. They just come to the line and they snap the ball back to Potts. Second down, 6 yards to go. He hands it to the back, looking for a hole. This time he's dropped right at the 15-yard line. Only a yard gained on the play. So it'll bring up third down, 6 yards to go. Stockton once again on the carry. Third down and long facing Powell.
Yeah, David, and one of the things that's kind of confusing for the Powell offense is that they can go as fast or slow as they want. They call the plays from the sideline, signal them in, and there's no huddle. So they can drain the clock or they can go quick.
Third down, a long 3 to go for a first. 8:57 to play in the ball game. 28-14 Oak Ridge. Handoff to the back, and he moves the ball for what appears to be another first down. 8 minutes, 47 seconds to play. Play is stopped once again as they look at it from the sidelines. That is another first down for the Powell Panthers. Clock is still moving. 8:42 to play in the ball game. 28-14 the score. Lowe bringing in players from the sideline. 8:35 to play. The Wildcats offense, when they get the ball again, they're going to have to do something.
Yeah, and got to stay consistent with what we're doing. If you want to run the ball, then commit to that.
Here comes the handoff, and there's going to be a touchdown for the Powell Panthers. They take it all the way into the end zone. They marched down the field from the 35-yard line, kept it all on the ground, and the Wildcats could not slow them down whatsoever. And just like that, it's 28-20 with 8:18 to play in the ballgame.
Yeah, David, and as you mentioned, not one pass went in the air, which is very weird for a Powell offense that we've seen this year so far. But as you said, the interior linemen for Powell were just opening ginormous holes for the running backs to run through.
Big extra point right here. They'll attempt it here. 28-20 the score. Ball is down. The kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. 8:18 to play. Boy, we have a ball game here. 28-21 the score. We'll be back with the Powell kickoff in 60 seconds.
Hail Mares to kick off for the Panthers. Deep for the Wildcats, Jabryce Taylor and Brandon Hayward.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Here's the kick by Powell. It's a short one. Going to be returnable by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge moves the ball to the 35-yard line, and that is where they will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. 8 minutes, 14 seconds to play in the ball game. Last year, the Wildcats led going into the fourth quarter and were defeated 27-21. This time, the Wildcats are up by 7, 28-21. Wildcats have got to get their offense going. They have tried to get the ball to Kendall Jackson, and they have, but the Wildcats have not been able to move the chains that much, and the passing game has gone away a little bit for the Wildcats. Haven't gotten the ball to Brandon Hayward in this one. Officials are having a long conversation. They're pointing towards Powell, and I think we're going to have an additional step off against the Powell Panthers. Matt Lowe is livid on the sideline over there. It's going to be a legal procedure against the Panthers, which I believe is going to force them to kick the ball off once again. So they'll step off 5-yard penalty against Powell back to the 35-yard line, and they'll huddle with their head coach. 8:14 to play in the ball game, 28-21. Wildcats have got to start moving the football here.
Yeah, David, and you said that illegal procedure. Most likely what that was is an offsides on the kickoff for Powell, which would back the kickoff up. And, you know, if you're Oak Ridge, you just got to make sure that you field this kickoff and get your offense back out there. I think you got to be creative with your offense. Try to get other people to football. You don't want to use your best player as a decoy all the time, but fake it to him and do an end around or get it to other people. We've got some great guys with a lot of speed that can get the ball as well. Cole Adams being one.
28-21, the Wildcats. 5-yard step off. They'll kick it again. Wildcats in the lead, 8:14 to play. Here's a kick. It's high again, short again. It's going to be fielded by Jabrise at the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 50-yard line. Jabrise Taylor to the outside. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 25-yard line. That's what they need. The big return by Jabrise Taylor. Oak Ridge, first down, 10 yards to go. Just what Dr. McMahon ordered up here on the day. He gets his character award winner. The Wildcats, first down, 10 yards to go. What a return by Jabrise.
You know, and this is something that Jabrise started earlier, probably about 3 or 4 games ago, where he just started finding holes. And what Jabrise does so well is once he sees the hole, he hits it. And he is very patient in getting to that hole. But once he's through the hole, man, he's got burners, and he turned them on there to put the Wildcats inside the red zone to start this drive.
At the 19-yard line, the Wildcats need points on this drive. First down, 10 yards to go, 8:03 to play in the ballgame, 28-21 Oak Ridge. Taylor, or actually Kendall Jackson, looking to move the ball forward, nowhere. Lost a yard. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Just hesitated there. There was just nothing on the short side of the field for Kendall, and it's going to be no gain on the play. The Wildcats have got to move the ball. They've got to get points, James Branson.
Got to get points, and I would argue that you probably got to get a touchdown here to keep up with the scoring of Powell, because you've seen what the Powell offense is going to do. Defensively, we got to stop them down, but offensively, we got to get points, and I want a touchdown here.
Ball still at the 19-yard line, so no gain for Kendall Jackson. 7:28 to play. Play clock ticking on down, 17 seconds on it. 7:23 to play in the ballgame. Second down, 10 yards to go. Mitchell Gibbons setting up. Cole Adams in a slot to the right side. Mitchell's going to drop back to pass. Fires it across the way, intending it for Jonathan Stewart. It's incomplete. A lot of pressure once again on Mitchell. Had to deliver the pass. It's now 3rd down and 10. The Wildcat offense has not been able to move the ball since early on in the ballgame.
Yeah, David, and that pass was just a little ahead of Jonathan Stewart there as he was on a little skinny post route. Nice little fake by Mitchell Gibbons to draw the eyes of just about everybody else. Would just like to execute that a little bit better.
7:10 to play in the ball game. 3rd down, 10 yards to go at the Powell 19-yard line. Haven't been able to do anything with this field position. Wildcats splitting out. The Wildcats have Cole Adams, Jabrise Taylor, Jonathan Stewart here to the right. Mitchell Gibbons back to pass. Looks, fires it across the way. Oh, it's incomplete. Intended for Jabrise Taylor. He was open. Had to lead him just a little bit sooner than he wanted to because the pressure was coming in on Mitchell Gibbons. So the Wildcats don't move the chains at all. And the Wildcats are going to come in with Efren Rodriguez to attempt what is going to be a long field goal of about 36 yards. He's hit a 35-yarder this year at Clinton. This will be from the left hash. The holder is Hayden Tarwater. 4th down, 10. Kai Hirsch the snap. Hayden Tarwater. Kick by Efren's on its way. It's up. No good. So the Wildcats do not take advantage of that field position, and the Panthers are fired up on their sideline. And by any indication of the way their offense moved the ball against Oak Ridge on the last series, the Wildcats are going to be in for it here if they cannot get some stops here. So much time left. 7:02 to play. The Wildcat offense has got to try different things here. The Wildcats got nothing and then missed the kick.
Yeah, David, and on that play to Jabrise, basically you had 2 receivers running go routes right down the middle of the field, and Mitchell pumped, and you'd like to see him maybe just put a bit more air on it and allow Jabrise to run under it because Jabrise had the safety beat there. Again, you got to get points, but defensively, we're back out on the field now. You got to forget that and get a stop here.
28-21 Oak Ridge, 1st and 10, handoff number 10. And that's Stockton once again moves the ball to the 25-yard line, 28-21. Can we not have a drama-free end to this ball game? Last year, this is the way it kind of closed out. 6:47 to play. Powell down 28-21. Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5.
Really nice run there by Powell as they're going quick again.
Fumble on the snap. Ball's loose on the ground, but the Panthers fall on it. That's a big play. Matthew Swigert close to it, along with Jacob Burvin. The snap was not good, so they're going to lose yardage. It'll be 3rd down, 9 yards to go, so I guess they're going to have to go to the air here.
Yeah, David, and it's something that they're very comfortable with, as the snap was just a little high off the fingertips of the quarterback, fell right on the ground. Matthew Swigert just a hair too late, and Stockton fell on that. But advantageous situation here for the Wildcats.
3rd down, we'll call it a long 8 to go for a 1st down. 6 minutes to play in the game. Potts back to pass, struggling, looking, trying to get outside. He is going to be diving forward for what appears to be a 1st down at the 30-yard line. Coach Gaddis told me he's elusive and he's able typically to get away from scramble situations. He goes out of bounds all the way across the field. I don't see any signal. Great scramble by Potts. They're looking at it, and from where it is going to be a 1st down for the Powell Panthers. 5:53 to play, 1st and 10. Got the ball all the way up the field to the 30-yard line of the Panthers.
Just barely over the 30-yard line for the Panthers, as the defensive line was trying to get him down and just let him get out of the pocket a little too quickly.
5:45 to play in the ball game. 28-21 Oak Ridge. Handoff goes to the running back and dragged down after a gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. 5:32 to play in this one. It'll be for Powell. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Wildcats in the lead, 28-21.
Wildcats in the lead, and that was Brown in and got a quick 5 yards there as Powell's going quick on offense again.
Another high snap, handoff to the running back, and he heads to the sideline. Cole Adams is going to push him out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 45-yard line. Another fine run by Brown. It'll be a 1st down run. The Wildcat defense all of a sudden can't slow down the Powell running attack here. 5:11 to play in the ball game. They're still down 7. The Wildcats need to stop.
Yeah, David, and I think what is aggravating the Wildcat defense right now is they're rotating Brown and Stockton every 2 or 3 plays, which is throwing them off.
1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 46-yard line. Potts back to pass. Pressured screen pass, caught, cuts it back to the middle of the field, and that helped us. He stays to the outside. He hits that sideline. He goes 25, 30 yards, but the Wildcats make the stop with, looks like, Isaiah Boone and one other Wildcat. So no gain on the play. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. That helped.
That did help, and they motioned Brown out of the backfield to try to draw the eyes and ran a tunnel screen to the opposite side. Wildcats stayed at home as Stockton is back in at running back.
4:40 to play in the ball game. Stockton gets the hold, handoff, he moves the ball forward, and the Wildcats have trouble bringing him down. He gets all the way to the 40-yard line. Wildcats hit him in the backfield, couldn't get him down, and that is another 1st down. Wow. So much time left on the clock. 4:34 to play. 1st and 10 for the Powell Panthers. Oak Ridge on top, 28-21. They have the ball at the Oak Ridge 42-yard line. The clock is moving again. 4:27 to play in the game. 1st down, 10. Another high snap. Boom! Nice tackle. Matthew Swigert comes from the backside and drops him at the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job there by Matthew as he came from basically on a corner blitz as the outside linebacker had to cover. I believe that was Jaden Elam out there that had to cover. Matthew Swigert has a lot of speed, so a smart call there by Coach Miner.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. We're down to 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Powell kind of lines it up a little slower this time. Play clock down to 22. 2nd down, 9 yards to go at the 41-yard line. 3:53 to play. Potts from the shotgun, hands it to Stockton. Stockton to the outside. He runs into a wall of Wildcats. Wildcats make the stop. Look like Jaden Elam makes the stop at around the 37-yard line. It is 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the Panthers with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play. Wow, coming right down to it, James.
Yeah, it looks like the Panthers aren't in too much of a rush, maybe trying to get down the field and score right before the clock runs out.
3rd down, 2, handoff to the back, tries to get outside, and he's going to get a 1st down. Burvin and company make the stop. Brown on the carry once again. 3:16 to play in the ball game. 28-21. The Wildcats holding on for dear life here. They took advantage of some Powell turnovers, but now the Wildcat defense cannot slow down this running attack.
No, David, and Powell is every play is getting 3, 4, 5 yards, so it's easy for them to pick up these first downs.
3 minutes to play in the ball game. First down 10, the ball at the Oak Ridge 30-yard line. Potts has the handoff to the running back, and he is met and dropped at around the 27-yard line by Jacob Irvin. 2 minutes, 47 seconds to play. Powell has all 3 of their timeouts. Oak Ridge has 2. Ball's at the 25, gain of 5. Second down, 5 yards to go.
Yeah, David, as Powell is pulling guards and they're just leading the way for the outside run game and basically leaving the outside linebackers on the opposite side unblocked and overloading one side of the field.
2 minutes, 27 seconds to play. Handoff. No, the quarterback Potts is going to throw it into the end zone. Man is there. Pass is incomplete. Wildcats had a good defense out there. Pass is incomplete. Might have been a flag in the end zone. We'll have to wait and see. It's on the far corner. There is a flag in the end zone. Oak Ridge fans don't like it. You can hear the booing down below here, and it'll be probably pass interference.
Yeah, David, as Powell ran a play-action play there where they faked a handoff and basically tried to hit the receiver on a go route. Preston was a little bit further behind there, and the ball was underthrown. If Potts puts that deeper in the end zone, it's an easy touchdown, no flag on the field.
2 minutes, 19 seconds to play. Handoff goes to the running back. He's met at the line and stopped. The line of scrimmage was the 12. It's now the 10. Actually beyond that to the 8. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. 28-21. The Wildcats trying to make a stand right here against the Powell Panthers. We're down to 2 minutes to play. Second down, 6 yards to go. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 8-yard line. 1 minute 55 to play in the ball game. Panthers, second down, 6. Potts from the shotgun. One lone running back, hands it to him. He moves the ball on the outside, drives all the way down inside the 5-yard line, and it is in the end zone. I believe he is for a touchdown for the Panthers. They score with 1 minute 41 to play, and just like that, they are to within an extra point of tying this ball game. The Wildcats just have not been able to slow them down here in the second half.
David, knowing that the Powell can run the ball here, do you think Matt Lowe is going to go for 2 and possibly play defense?
He's got his kicker in, and looks like with 1 minute 41 to play, they'll try to tie the ball game. He's been pretty good on his kicks. The Wildcats could use some pressure here. Lay out for it. 28-27 the score. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is no good! No, it is good. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was off to the right side, but I think we have a flag. I think the Wildcats might have jumped off sides, and if that's the case, that might move it half the distance to the goal, and Coach Lowe might decide to go for it. It is a foul against the Wildcats.
It was offsides by the Wildcats. They were just a hair over the line, which is, I guess, why they got back there so quickly and kind of forced the shank off to the right side.
And they are indeed going to talk about it, and I believe they're going to go for 2. They're over to talk with Coach Lowe. 28-27. You know, the defense has given up a lot, but honestly, the Wildcat offense just couldn't get it done here in the second half, and then the defense is dead tired. They've been out there so long, and Lowe, here's a game right here. If the Wildcats can get a stop, the Wildcats will have the lead 28-27.
Offense is going back out for Powell. I see Potts and I believe that's Brown out there for them, so it looks like they're going for a 2-point conversion.
Wildcats need a stop here. Half the distance to the goal. It's at the 1.5-yard line. 1 minute 41 to play in the ball game. 28-27, and the Wildcats will call a timeout. So, just like that, when it looked like the Wildcats were going to win this ball game, Wildcat offense stymied by a really good Powell team, and wow, their offense got it in gear. Their running game just could not be slowed down and stopped by Oak Ridge. The Wildcats trying to make a stop right here on the 2-point conversion try, which would give them the lead.
Yeah, David, and it would give them a 1-point lead, 29-28, if they were to make it. Wildcats stopped Powell, I believe, on the 3 or 4 yard line where the play started early or late in the second half. And what they did on that play is they ran everybody off toward the middle of the field and tried to sneak, I believe it was Brown, even then, who was in on that last play before the timeout. They tried to sneak him out into the flat and basically get a quick, easy 2 points. It'd be interesting to see if they play a very similar scenario here.
28-27, the Wildcats on top by 1. A minute 41 to play in this ballgame. The Wildcats do not play next week. They will get a forfeit win from Fulton, unfortunately, for the Falcons because of the COVID virus. The Wildcats playing for second place. The Panthers playing for second place and a home playoff ballgame. Here comes the Oak Ridge defense onto the field. A minute 41 to play in the game. The Wildcats on top, 28-27. Oak Ridge crowd trying to urge on the Oak Ridge defense to get a 2-point conversion try stop. Potts from the shotgun, one lone running back, going for 2 and the lead. 28-27. The snap, the handoff. Before that, movement. And let's see if they have an illegal procedure against them. We'll have to wait and see what the official says. It is a legal procedure against Powell. That's a 5-yard step off. So now they're going to have to bring the kicker back in. So got a break there.
Yeah, David, interesting scenario. They went for the kick. Oak Ridge jumps off sides, gives Powell basically easy, 1.5 yards away. Powell makes a mistake, and not only makes a big mistake because that's a 5-yard penalty, not a half the distance penalty. So 5-yard penalty makes the kick a little bit harder for the kicker.
Right in the middle of the field, though. 28-27 the score, a minute 41 to play. Trying to tie the ball game now. So let's see what the Panthers can do on the extra point attempt. Here's the snap. It's good. The hold. The kick is up. It's no good. It's no good. No good. Off. Side. It's pandemonium at Blankenship Field. He missed it. Wide right. 28-27 the score. A minute 41 to play in the ball game. Huge miss right there. I feel for the kid. You got to be happy if you're a Wildcat fan, but still, so much time left. A minute 41 to play.
So much time left, and Powell's going to draw up their best onside kick here, David. So you got to have your hands team out, the team that you think can field the ball the best here. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if Powell tried to play some type of different kickoff. They run a pop-up out there, so I'd be interested to see what their onside kick is. Or do they have all 3 timeouts? They do have all 3 timeouts, so they can still play defense, and if you play it well, get the ball back with maybe some time on the clock.
1 minute, 41 seconds to play. Nobody has gone home in this one. Here comes the 2 teams back out on the field. 28-27 the score. A classic here from Blankenship Field here tonight. The Panthers and the Wildcats. 28-27 the score. The Wildcats will bring the Good Hands team on. Jabryce Taylor. The Wildcats have Cole Adams. The Wildcats have Kai Hirsch. The Wildcats have Preston Turner, Jonathan Stewart, Brandon Hayward on the front line, waiting for the onside kick. Minute 41 to play, 28-27 Oak Ridge. Here it is. Kicks it, fielded, Hayward falls on it, and the Wildcats signal they have it, and guess what? The Cardinal and Gray have come up with the onside kick. It hit Brandon Hayward hard, and the Wildcats come up with it. I think coming up with it might have been Hayden Tarwater who comes up with it. So with a minute 41 to play, no time off the clock. How does that happen?
Not really sure. There should have been at least a couple seconds run off the clock here. But key to note, Powell has 3 timeouts. Oak Ridge just can't kneel it out. They have to be able to move the football. If you pick up a first down here, game's over.
Classic game here from Blankenship Field. 28-27, 1 minute, 41 seconds to play. Wildcat offense on the field starting at the 44-yard line of Oak Ridge. Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Handoff goes Kendall. Kendall leans forward, body leaning to the 45-yard line. It's a gain on the play. A minute 30 and counting. Coach Lowe calls a timeout. 1:29 to play. So we lost some seconds when they didn't start the clock on the kickoff. It couldn't have been any more than 4 or 5 seconds, but those 4 or 5 seconds could play crucial role here late down the stretch here. Second down, 7 yards to go. And now they put more time on the clock. It's up to 1:34.
Interesting scenario here, David. I guess they're assuming that Powell called a timeout a little bit quicker. Something to note here is scheme-wise, Powell is playing with no safety, so they have either 8 or 9 people in the box. They're really selling out for that run play. So, again, maybe you keep it on the ground with Kendall, but maybe try to fake it and try to get an end around or try to get somebody on the edge because there's nobody out there. Everybody is packing in the middle of the field.
Might be the time to give the ball to Jabryce.
Yeah, not a bad idea because Jabryce did a really nice job on the one they did hand off to him, which was a fake to Kendall and just Jabryce on the edge.
They haven't changed the timeout, so, I thought maybe they'd use one. I think maybe they have one timeout. They still say they have 3 on the scoreboard. There's 94 seconds left in the game. 28-27, Oak Ridge in the lead. The ball is at the 47-yard line of the Wildcats. Second down, 7 yards to go. Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Cole Adams in a slot to the left. The Wildcats receivers left and right. Second down, 7 yards to go. Man comes in motion. Jabryce Taylor. Jabryce gets the handoff. Cuts it inside. Across the 50. Spins his way to the 49-yard line. So we called that one right. It'll be another timeout called by Powell. And, man, I wish the scoreboard would put the right timeouts up there so we know. They call a timeout. It's third down, 2 yards to go.
David, is a great call there by Coach Miner just to get somebody out on the edge. Jabryce made a really nice cut to cut it up inside. He didn't continue outside. If he continued outside, he was going to get stopped, at least for no gain, maybe even worse. So great job there by Jabryce by cutting up and getting something and putting yourself in a 3rd and 3 situation.
1 minute, 27 seconds. So not much time is taken off the clock. Now they've got it down to one timeout remaining on the scoreboard. Third down, 2 yards to go. The ball is at the 49-yard line of Powell. 28-27, Oak Ridge in the lead. Wow, what a game, James.
Yeah, David, and I was just sitting here thinking what could be so deceptive that we could maybe pick up this first down. And I was thinking maybe some type of triple option here. Reed, fake it to Kendall, get out on the edge with Mitchell and somebody else because Mitchell's got speed too. And so maybe try to do something like that to pick it up, maybe not just a straight handoff to Kendall.
Once again, the Powell fans pounding on the aluminum bleachers across the field there. Third down, 2 yards to go. Kendall Jackson, the lone running back, actually a slot man to the right side this time, is Cole Adams. Mitchell from the shotgun. Third down, 2 to extend the game, to win the ball game with a first down. See if they can jump off, get them to jump off sides. Third down, 2 yards to go. Handoff, Kendall Jackson. That's a 10-bank of Oak Ridge, first down and more. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. The Wildcats are going to beat the Powell Panthers here at Blankenship Field. 1:15 to play. First and goal for the Wildcats.
Really nice job there by Kendall and great job by the offensive line, opening up a great hole for Kendall there. Kendall just ran through it, able to spin out of a tackle. He spins out of the tackle, and there's nobody at the second level, which is the linebacker level, because Powell had committed everybody to stopping it at the line of scrimmage. When they couldn't, it was wide open, and it was the safety Green, I believe, that made the tackle.
Here comes the victory formation for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. 56 seconds to play. 28-27, the Wildcats have the ball at the Powell 5-yard line. The greatest play in football is the victory formation. It'll be first down, 5 yards to go, goal to go at the 5. Mitchell Gibbons, 40 seconds to play, so a missed extra point as the Wildcats gladly will take a delay of game right here. And with 31 seconds to play, the clock's still rolling here, and 27 seconds to play. They're going to have to stop the clock. They let at least 15 seconds to go. The Wildcats will host the first round of the TSSAA playoffs. They will be at home against either Walker Valley or Soddy Daisy 2 weeks from tonight here at Blankenship Field. What a run. What a way to seal the game. Kendall Jackson.
Great job by the Wildcats all around. Special teams, defense, offense, because this is a little bit of a revenge victory. Everything was setting up very similar to what it did last year, but the Wildcats clearly have learned from their mistakes and come out on top, even though they faced adversity late in the game here.
Man, you got to feel for that kicker for Powell. Game would have been totally different here. We would have had perhaps overtime, and who knows, the way they were running the ball. James, as the ball's at the 5-yard line, officially there's 38 seconds left. The Wildcats back to the victory formation here.
Yeah, David, and that kicker, he missed the first one, probably got in his head a little bit, and the second one, when they tried to go for 2, not successful, and obviously what happened on the third play there on the extra point.
Here's the kneel down by Mitchell Gibbons. 27 seconds to play. Powell cannot stop the ball game. The Wildcats have defeated the Powell Panthers by a final score of 28-27 here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats will host the first round of the TSSAA playoffs. The Wildcats will go to the playoffs with a record of 7-3. The Wildcats will be the number 2 team in Region 3. West has won the region. Oak Ridge is number 2. Powell is number 3. They're on the road. The number 4 team, the Fulton Falcons. As the 2 teams mess on the field here, the Oak Ridge fans, what a game, James. What a game. A heartbreak for the Powell Panthers. A nail-biter. The Wildcats, on a missed extra point, defeat the Panthers, and they will host a playoff ball game.
Great game here by the Wildcats as they're able to hold on and get out of here with a victory, and what toughness and grit they showed in the face of adversity.
We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have player interviews. We'll have the statistics. Oak Ridge wins 28-27, and we'll be back to Blankenship Field with our postgame show, the Betsy Coleman Realty postgame show. 28-27 Oak Ridge, back in 3 minutes. Make sure you
Where's Mama see the swag at?
James Branson down here at Blankenship Field, joined by offensive and defensive lineman Ethan Hewitt and Preston Turner. Ethan, we'll start with you. A little bit of change of position throughout the year. You originally, I think, were at guard or tackle. Thank you. Injury to our starting center. You have to move to center. What has that been like for you?
At first it was difficult because I've never snapped a ball in my life. So, I mean, I think that shows in some of the earlier games, but once I figured it out, it wasn't, I mean, you're in the middle, those guys are fat, and you just got to lean into them. It's not that hard.
So tonight, I think Coach Gaddis challenged you especially to move the football, be able to move it on them, and you guys did that tonight, especially when it counted. Talk us through the biggest play of the game. Kendall Jackson breaks off a run to seal the deal. What was the play call?
I think it was Cold Idaho, which is an ISO play, so he just ran it right up the middle, and the rest is history.
So they had 8 people in the box. Basically, if Kendall breaks that off and gets past the first line of defense, that he was either going to score or get a big yardage there.
Yes, sir. I mean, that play set up that if he gets to the second level, the only people that can catch him are the corners, and they have to sprint 20 yards down the field. So
one thing I noticed late in the game when they were going to go for 2, we saw you in there specifically on defense. Not a role that you played a whole lot this year. How did it feel getting back out there on defense?
Oh, it feels great. The defensive side of the ball is, in my opinion, the most fun because just lower your head and go. I mean, I love it, and I was honored to be out there to support the boys. You know, we didn't get a stop. They stopped themselves, but I felt great.
So, Ethan, one more thing. You guys were all emotionally spent. You and Jackson, I saw laying in the end zone. Preston, all these other guys that played both ways, emotionally, physically spent. What does it mean to get another game here at Blankenship Field going into the playoffs?
Oh, it feels amazing to be back in front of this wonderful crowd. I mean, there's nothing like it. I've never experienced anything like it in my heart to play at this field with these fans. I mean, I love it. I love it to death.
Ethan, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yes, sir.
Also joined here by Preston Turner. Preston, senior for the Wildcats. Senior night for you. How does that feel?
It feels really good. I'm glad that we got the W, and I just feel good about it. I'm speechless. I'm sorry, I'm speechless.
You had a great game defensively. I mean, almost everybody in the secondary had a great game. You had a pick, Cole had a pick, Jonathan had a pick. Unfortunately, yours got called back, but what was your scheme defensively knowing that they were going to pass a lot?
In practice, I was like, they're going to pass a lot, so I need to work on my man coverage, and that's what I did.
So on the pick there, Jonathan was able to get it back and take it in for a touchdown, correcting a mistake that happened, which was a block in the back on yours. So was that a key point that you had to focus on mentally when he was returning it and the rest of the guys?
Yes, it was. We were told that if he's in front of you, just don't block, just celebrate. But yeah, that was our main focus, was not to block in the back on that second pick.
Obviously not high-five into the end zone, right?
No.
So we talked about you being a senior, how special it was. Knowing that you get to play a playoff game at home your senior year, how special is that to you?
It feels really good that I'm able to come back to this field and play again for probably my last time, I don't know. But it just feels really good.
So, Preston, a little bit of a weird setup here that we have going forward. We were supposed to play Fulton next week. Situations around that we're facing are not allowing that. So you get a little bit longer time to prepare. Not going to know who you're going to face. What do we got to do to get better for either Soddy Daisy or Walker Valley?
We need to come to practice focus for the next 2 weeks, and we need to get in the weight room because we looked a little weak out there when they were running the ball.
Preston, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on the victory.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Join here, Coach Gaddis speaking with Coach Mullins after the victory. He is very fired up about this. Also down here on the field, Coach Emery Hale was down here celebrating with the guys, which is not much of a surprise because he was congratulating Kendall Jackson. He was congratulating a lot of the linemen for the job that they had done late in the game. And Coach Gaddis is here now joining us. Coach, I know you didn't play in the game, but you got to be emotionally and mentally spent.
I told them at halftime, I knew I would be, but I told them at halftime, one surefire way of winning this game would be for every player, whether they were on the field or on the sideline, to be physically, emotionally, and mentally spent, exhausted when the game was over. And if they all did that and just laid it all out on the line, we'd win the game. And somehow we did. I feel like I played. Thank goodness I didn't, but I feel like I did. And if my heart and my brain were ever questioned as far as they're in good shape, they've got to be, because I should have had a heart attack or stroked out tonight. But thank goodness I didn't, and thank goodness I was alive to see this win, because beating them is a great thing.
Coach, you obviously had Coach Hale come back and he spoke to the guys last night. You got an opportunity to talk to him today. What was so fun about just a few moments ago? He was down on the field celebrating with you all. So how cool is it, the tradition that we have, that we can bring back state champions, celebrate with these guys, and also, you know, have them down here and still this enthused about Oak Ridge football?
Great thing. Emery's obviously got Cardinal blood running through his veins, and what isn't Cardinal's gray. But he's an Oak Ridge guy through and through. Loved hearing him at the church. Loved hearing him out here. Loved seeing the state championship guys from 1980 before the game. And, Emery to come out here and be part of our post-game celebration is memorable. It's great.
Coach, we're not going to ask about the antics that you might perform. He obviously was very famous for his jumping off the high dive and eating worms and whatnot. But probably one of our best all-around games tonight. Special teams-wise, we played well. Defense, you got 5 turnovers. Offense, you ran the ball against a really good Powell defense.
They're a good football team. I think their offense is a great football team. And to be up 21-7 at the half, whatever it was, to hold them to 7 for a half, that's really great. I thought they surprised me a little and ran the ball on us effectively in the second half, which people don't generally do that to us. We'll have to look and see how that happened. But they got the momentum, and it was very eerily familiar. Last year we were up 21-7 going into the fourth quarter, and they got the momentum and ended up winning, I think, 28-21. I worried when we jumped off sides. I felt like they'd go for 2, and I had my doubts, honestly, whether we'd stop it or not, because they've been moving the ball so well on the ground, 1.5 yards. But then when they got the penalty, something in my mind just thought, he's going to miss this thing. We're going to win this game 28-27. But I was really proud. Offensively, we didn't do much in the second half. They made some good adjustments, but I was really proud of us. We had to get a first down because they had 3 timeouts left, so we had to get a first down to win the game. Almost scored, which I didn't care about that. I almost wanted him to go down when he got the first down, but, he wanted to score. But that was a great first down, a great way to finish the game.
Coach, obviously a weird week coming up with the circumstances surrounding coronavirus, and Fulton, unfortunately, not going to get to play. What is the preparation going to be like? Not knowing, especially with Saudi Daisy and Walker Valley playing next week, not knowing what's that next week going to look like going into playoffs?
Well, everybody I've talked to, and you can't bank on this, Walker Valley's got a really good football team. Saudi Daisy isn't quite as good, apparently, as they have been. So you would figure maybe Walker Valley's going to win that game, but you never know. So we're going to have a practice next week similar to the off week we had during fall break. We'll have 4 practices, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll give them Friday off. We'll give them Sunday off. They normally work out and come in. We'll give them Sunday off. We'll have practice a couple hours each day, work on fundamentals, work on some of the things that we have to improve upon. If we have any wrinkles we want to add to our offensive or defensive playbook, we'll do that. And then we might slip a little stuff in because we'll know about both those teams, but we'll really get into some big-time game planning the next weekend, and then the following week will be a normal game week.
Coach, senior night tonight, obviously it's supposed to be next week, but senior night tonight, how special is it for your seniors to get their last regular season victory here at Blankenship?
Oh, huge, especially in this game with the crowd as loud as it was and so much on the line. I tried almost to downplay the importance of this game because you don't know what kind of pressure 17-year-olds can handle, or 15 or wherever. We got some 15, 16, 17, and 18s. You don't want to make it too big a deal, but everybody knew this was a huge game. If we're going to have another game at Blankenship Field, you have to win this one. If you want to have perhaps a little easier path in the playoffs, you need to be second rather than third. So, this was a huge football game, and for our seniors to go out at Blankenship Field in the regular season with this win in this game against that team is just tremendous.
We probably have one of the toughest, if not the toughest schedule in the state, playing all the 6A teams that we play, playing Powell tough, playing West, who's probably one of the best teams on our schedule. All that adversity sets up really well for a long run in the playoffs because you've played tough competition.
I think we're better now, obviously, than we were early. We weren't very good early. But for playing Dobbins Bennett, who's great, Farragut, really a good football team. West, great football team. Powell, great football team. Mount Juliet, really good football team. That makes us better, and that's why we're able to win this game tonight. And, Powell's played a tough schedule, too. They played Beach early. They don't shy away from anybody. So, I think 2 really good football teams played tonight. They've been good all year. We're just getting good, and this is a good time to be getting good.
Coach, you mentioned one more game, playoff game for sure at home. How special is that for your guys? And this atmosphere on playoff time is something else.
This seemed like a playoff game. This is as loud as it's been in a while, and our fans understood the importance of this game and how big it was. I don't know how big the crowd was, but it sounded huge just from the sounds alone. But this was a huge game. Playoff games at Blankenship Field are the greatest things in the world, and now we know we've got at least one, so we're looking forward to it. I'm proud of our seniors. I'm proud of our football team for tackling some adversity tonight, overcoming it, and coming out with a huge win.
Coach, congratulations on the victory, and we look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thank you.
This is James Branson. We are going to finish up here on the field. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout and send it up to Mark after our 3-minute timeout to let him finish up his stats and everything like that. So we will be back in 3 minutes with Mark Haste and statistics.
Well, he sent it to a 3-minute ad instead of coming back to us. I know, that's the truth. What's up with that, I wonder? Wow, is all I know to say. That was a great game. I tell you, these extra points. Yeah, that's the truth. You're right. 'Cause you don't. What'd you say we had? How many yards? 35 yards, and what you told me at one time? They only had so many 35 yards in the second half. Is that what you said? Or golly, that's unreal. Because Kendall broke that one big run there right down to the toward the end. Where was that?
So we had 65 yards, 64 yards in the second half, and 43 of them came on that one run.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So other than that one run, we had like 25.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let you say that because you deserve that. You do such a great job with these stats. Look at those two pit bulls. You know, they got a bad rap. Those are really sweet dogs if they train them right. He's getting ready to come back. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. This is the Wild Man, Mike Sheehan, with what turned out to be a very exciting victory for the Wildcats. To start things off, with 5 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first quarter, Mitchell Gibbons threw an 11-yard pass to Cole Adams to get the Wildcats on the board for the first time. They went up 6-0, and that was after a fake punt. The Wildcats were backed up, and Preston Turner pulled it down and ran all the way down to about the 40-yard line and got a big first down, and the Wildcats were able to put the ball into the end zone. Tyler Dunham came in and kicked the first extra point, and the Wildcats led 7-0. And then with only 57 seconds later, the Wildcats recovered a fumble, and the Wildcats were able to drive the ball down to the 1-yard line where Kendall Jackson ran it in from 1 yard out, and the Wildcats went up 13-0 with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Then Efren Rodriguez came in and kicked the ball between the uprights for a very important extra point, and the Wildcats led 14-0. But then with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the first quarter, Jordan Potts, the outstanding quarterback from the Powell Panthers, threw a pass to J.J. Faust from 27 yards out, and the Powell Panthers were on the board 14-6. Then the extra point was good by Kalen Sanders, but the Wildcats still led 14-7. Then in the second quarter, 1 minute and 14 seconds, like 46 seconds into the second quarter, Mitchell Gibbons threw an 8-yard touchdown pass to Jabris Taylor, and the Wildcats went up 20-7. Again, Efren Rodriguez came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 21-7. And that was the way the first half ended, with the Wildcats leading 21-7. Then Preston Turner intercepted a pass in the third quarter with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, and went into the end zone for a touchdown, but the Wildcats were called for a block in the back. That play was negated, so there was no score. The next score came in the third quarter when Jonathan Stewart intercepted a pass and ran it back 67 yards for the Wildcats. Tremendous run by Jonathan to put the Wildcats up 27-7. And then the extra point was again good by Efren Rodriguez, and the Wildcats led 28-7. Then still in the third quarter, Jaden Collins had a 63-yard run from scrimmage and put the ball into the end zone, and just like that, Powell was back in it, 13-28. Then Caleb Sanders again kicked the ball through the uprights for the Powell Panthers, and the Wildcats led 28-14. Then in the fourth and very exciting fourth quarter, Jarvis Stockton ran one in from 10 yards out and pulled the Panthers within 8 of the Wildcats, 28-20. And then Caleb Sanders again came in and kicked the ball between the uprights for the Powell Panthers, and they only led by 7, 28-21. Then with 7 minutes and 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Efren Rodriguez attempted a 36-yard field goal, but it was wide right. So no score there for the Wildcats. The Wildcats cling to that 28-21 lead. And then a real shocker, the Powell Panthers drove the ball all the way down the field, and with only 1 minute and 41 seconds left, they were within 1 point of leading the way at 28-27 from Jarvis Stockton's 8-yard touchdown run. And then the Wildcats got called for offsides on the extra point, so they decided to go for 2. And then, of all things, Powell jumped offsides. The 5-yard penalty backed them up, so they decided to try to kick the extra point. This time, the extra point by Caleb Sanders was wide right, and the Wildcats walk off with a tremendous, exciting 28-27 victory. Now, I need you to listen to these stats from Mark Hayes, because there's some very interesting facts coming up. I'm going to turn it over to Mark Hayes.
Thank you very much, Mike. As you said, Wildcats victorious by a final score of 28-27 over the Powell Panthers. Leading rusher for the Wildcats, Kendall Jackson, had 127 yards on 22 carries. That's an average of 5.8 yards per carry. His long tonight was 43 yards. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. Preston Turner had a 34-yard punt, fake punt. So he had 1 carry for 34 yards. Jabris Taylor, 3 carries for 12 yards. Mitchell Gibbons, he had 5 carries, netting minus 22 yards tonight. So as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 31 times, totaling 151 yards on the ground. Now looking at Oak Ridge through the air, Mitchell Gibbons, quarterbacking for the Wildcats. He was 7 of 14 for 68 yards. He had 1 interception on the night. Receiving for the Wildcats, Jabris Taylor had 2 receptions for 24 yards. Brandon Hayward had 20 yards on 2 receptions. Jonathan Stewart had 14 yards on 2 receptions. And Cole Adams had a 10-yard reception. As a team, the Wildcats had 11 first downs in the ballgame. They were penalized 8 times for 51 yards. So, again, Wildcats on the ground, 151 yards on 31 carries. They had 68 yards through the air on 7 receptions for a total offense tonight of 219. If you were listening at halftime, I told you that the Wildcats had 155 yards of total offense. So that means the Wildcats got 64 yards in the second half, realizing that most of those, 43 of those yards, were on Kendall Jackson's long run that got us down to the 6-yard line. So other than Kendall Jackson's long run in the second half, the Wildcats only had 21 yards of offense in the second half. So very surprising for the Wildcats. Now looking at the Powell Panthers, Jarvis Stockton had 122 yards on 21 carries. Jordan Brown had 84 yards on 13 carries. Jordan Potts had 5 carries for totaling 13 yards. And R.J. Jones, or J.R. Jones, had a 3-yard carry. So as a team, the Panthers carried the ball 40 times, totaling 222 yards on the ground. Through the air, their quarterback, Jordan Potts, he was 18 of 28 for 290 yards. He did have 3 interceptions on the night. The big difference for Powell, and I'll get into that a little bit later, is turnovers. Jaden Collins he was the leading receiver for the Panthers. He had 151 yards on 5 receptions. Jason Faust had 49 yards on 6 receptions. Darius Redmond, 2 receptions for 44 yards. Aiden Green had 2 receptions for 41 yards. And then J.R. Jones had 3 receptions totaling 5 yards. So, as a team, the Powell Panthers had 40 carries totaling 222 yards on the ground. They had 290 yards through the air on 18 receptions for a total offense of 512 yards. Very impressive offense tonight for the Panthers. They did have, as I said, they had 3 interceptions. They also had 3 fumbles. 2 of them were turned over to the Wildcats. So in total, the Panthers had really 4 turnovers, just because one of their interceptions was at the end of the first half. So nothing really happened to that. They didn't really turn the ball over. They just their drive just ended there at the end of the first half. So Powell Panthers had 24 yards, or rather 24 first downs in the ball game. They were penalized 5 times for 45. So let's look again at the team side by side. On the ground, Oak Ridge had 151 yards. Powell, 222. Through the air, Oak Ridge had 68. Powell, 290. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 219 total offensive yards. Powell, 512. So nearly 300 more yards of total offense by the Powell Panthers tonight. First downs, Oak Ridge had 11. Powell had 24. So they more than doubled Oak Ridge in first downs. Penalties, Oak Ridge, 8 penalties for 51 yards. Powell, 5 penalties for 45 yards. So a very interesting game tonight. Both teams, had opportunities. So final score, Oak Ridge victorious tonight by the final score over the Powell Panthers, 28-27. David?
Thanks a lot, Mark. We appreciate all your good work tonight. The Wildcats victorious over the number 2 ranked team in the state of Tennessee, the Powell Panthers, by a final score of 28-27. That is the final score. Obviously, the Wildcats will have off next week. They will play the Fulton Falcons, as we mentioned. Unfortunately, though, Fulton unable to go the last 2 weeks because of COVID. But the Wildcats will take a forfeit win, and the Wildcats will close out their regular season with a record of 7-3. The Wildcats have won 4 consecutive ball games. That about does it here from Blankenship Field. Oak Ridge will be back home here 2 weeks from tonight against either Walker Valley or Soddy Daisy. The Wildcats will play the loser of that ball game, which will take place next week down in Lower East Tennessee. I'd like to thank our camera personnel for tonight's ball game. We'd like to thank Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, along with Jordan Osborne. We also had Tyler Morris. We also had for the Wildcats tonight, Kaiser Schwartz. Our statisticians tonight were Mark and Shauna Hayes, along with Mike Sheehan. Brian Bennett has been our engineer back at the station. My name is David Clary, along with James Branson, reminding you the final score. The Wildcats knock off the number 2 ranked team in the state of Tennessee, the Powell Panthers, 28-27. We're off next week. 2 weeks from tonight, the playoffs begin. Until then, this is David Clary saying, so long, everybody.